That's not how the Force works.
I don't care!
Put a chicken in it and make her name it gay!
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Yo! G'day guys and welcome to Casual Rage 227, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. And of course, we weren't here last week. I do apologize for that. I actually had a migraine and I just could not get my head right. I took Panadol, I took some Nurofen, didn't really help much. So I just had to surrender to the fact that my head was going to explode. So I apologize. But we're here now. So we do have a little bit to talk about. There's been some stuff that actually came up today that isn't even in the title that we need to talk about. But yeah, there's been Ahsoka wrapped filming. There's been a little bit of talk about it, thanks to Bryce Dallas Howard. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that. There are some leaks as well, apparent leaks that I want to just go over. It's actually a video, so we're going to be probably e-fapping a little bit. There's a little bit of Marvel news that we'll talk about, a little bit of Harry Potter news that we'll talk about, and then there's the Netflix stuff that we probably would have talked about last week. And I know it's a little bit old, but based on where we are now with it, I kind of want to talk about it anyway. But how are we all doing? Good to see you all. This is the other thing too with we just had daylight savings tick over for us, which means the reason why I changed the time of when we started Casual Rage was because I was starting only an hour after Anna started. So I made it 2 hours. She was starting at 12 o'clock for me, and I was starting at 2 o'clock. Now with daylight savings, she's starting at 1 o'clock, and I start at 2 o'clock. So I'm thinking when daylight savings ticks over for the United States, I'll bring my stream back. It's starting at 12 o'clock because Anna will be now then starting at 2 o'clock. It's so fucking crazy. I don't understand like why we even really need daylight savings anymore. They want to kill off the farmers anyway, so why not just the whole reason why daylight savings was a thing was for them, right? So they just want to destroy the farmers. So why not just like not give them daylight savings, not give them that extra heat and daylight during the summertime? I don't know. But anyway, we'll get around to that once daylight savings does tick over. But let's see how we're all doing in the chat here. We got Jordan Star Wars. How you doing? Force choke the like button. Share the stream out on all social media platforms. Thanks, guys. Yes, please do that. That would be greatly appreciated. Tillium's in the chat. How you doing? We got Salshade. Good to see you, Salshade. Trev. Selling Star Wars to Disney will undoubtedly go down in history as the worst decision that George made with Star Wars. Yeah, and then Kathleen Kennedy would probably be the second, 100%. And I actually agree with that too. That being said, this is in no way his fault. Look, I can't take all fault away from George. All responsibility away from George. It was his. He was worried, like his entire life. He was always sort of going against the studios. That's why they hated him so much. I can't take all responsibility away from him. And to put Kathleen Kennedy in place, I have no doubt that she swindled her way in there and manipulated him and then completely changed on a dime once the deal was done. I don't doubt that, but still, man. It's kind of like with yourself. You can't, if you go in a wrong direction, yeah, you can point the finger all you like. You've still got to, at some point, take responsibility for your own actions, for your own decisions. Even if it's 1% your fault, you still need to take that 1% responsibility, I feel. Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan, good to see you. Mike Hill's in the chat, the great Mike Hill. He saves some of these streams, I tell you guys. He sends me that much stuff. I usually don't use it all. But, yeah. Mike, you've got to start sending me more than just Star Wars stuff, though, now, man. I'm so over Star Wars. Yes, obviously, we've got in the title right now, we've got Star Wars news and Ahsoka Season 2 leaks. The only reason why I added the Ahsoka Season 2 leaks is because it is a 20-minute video from Den of Shills and Star Wars Theory that I want to watch. Because, again, I have not been paying that much responsibility, that much attention to, so it's talking about all this responsibility, paying too much attention to Star Wars recently, to be honest with you. I see the major announcements like the Ahsoka wrapping up filming. I see little things about Jedi Starfighter. But, they're just things that come up on my feed, and I'm not really searching for anything because I don't really care anymore. Right now, I will admit I'm reading the Bible, but I'm, anything that I've been reading has all been EU stuff when it comes to Star Wars. And I'm just getting it that way. And I kind of feel bad that I never read them before, but in the same token, the fact that I'm actually able to read them now and get these stories brand new for me, there's kind of something special about that. Dengar Renegade, good to see you. Saw, crack open a Foster's. Man, I've still got a few left. I don't want any more after that. And even if somebody sends me it, I'm just going to put it towards a bottle of something. I'm not drinking any more Foster. It's that disgusting. I jokingly said that I was getting used to it. There's no getting used to it. There is no getting used to it. We end daylight savings in 4 weeks. Okay. So in 4 weeks' time then, guys, we'll reassess the time that we'll be starting the stream. Because again, not that I don't appreciate it, but normally I'd have maybe 20 people watching. You know, we got 9 in the chat right now. Appreciate all you guys being here. But with the overlap of so many streams going on, I know Wicked Virtue was streaming. I don't know if she still is with Vera Dark. There's Cecil that's streaming right now. Anna's streaming right now. Who else? Let me just have a quick look, because I think there's a few. John Malin, Lethal streaming. God. Oh my God. Now, look, I don't think that there's going to be a massive... I didn't even realize that there was this many. Wow. Okay, let me show you. See, I need to find a good time slot. You know, a small channel like mine, like I said, I don't mind. 10 people, awesome. It's cool. I'm still doing the stream, still talk about what I want to talk about. You guys are interested in hearing what I have to say. All good. But like when you're competing against this, like Anna, John, Cecil, Lethal, WDW Pro, Chrissy, whatever. Hypnotic, Geeks and Gamers is gaming at the moment. Comics Division. Like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of fucking people streaming right now. So we do need to find a better time slot. And the hard thing for me is just because of because like this is my day off from work. Maybe we just really need to go like much earlier. Like I start late morning for me, like 10 a.m. before all these other streams sort of start. Maybe that's an idea. It's just I do like to sleep in. I sleep till like 9:30, sometimes even 10 o'clock on my day off, and I still look like shit. That's the thing that I hate. I don't sleep well, I'll say that. But like even people in my videos have commented, man, are you getting enough sleep? No, I don't get enough sleep. Well, I kind of feel like I do, but I don't sleep well. Dr. Butcher, I see you. Gummy58, I see you. Hi, Dave. Yeah, well, yeah, that came before Kathleen Kennedy, didn't it? And that was a big problem. I see you, Soul Assassin. Yeah, Lethal streaming. Well, at least it said that he was. He'll be gaming, doing something. If it's not Legends, it's an abuse. Oh, man. I must admit, like, I don't even like the fact that it's called Legends. Like, you know, I understand and everything, and I'm not going to take shots for the people that do call it Legends. But, like, Legends is what Disney called it because they decanonized it. They wanted to move it from something that it was, like, to make it something else. Like, I just like it as the Star Wars Expanded Universe. I mean, they haven't made their own Expanded Universe. They haven't replaced the name Expanded Universe, I don't think, in any way. So for them to change the name to Legends, I don't know. It's defacing it in some way. It's just how I think. But no, I agree with you. If it's not the EU or Legends, it's an abomination. It really is. But it's not just these things are happening just with Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for me, it started with Star Wars. And obviously the MCU was doing pretty well around the time that Star Wars began its death. And then the MCU started falling off. And then people were paying attention to like all of these franchises that started to get infiltrated by the woke mind virus. There's no other real way to, the easiest way to describe what infiltrated and changed these things was the woke mind virus. It might not have started so harsh and dramatic. It might have been subtle, and it was subtle in some things. Like when you think about it, The Force Awakens, for example, right? Now, majority of the people were willing to give that a chance and see what they did moving into The Last Jedi, right? There was still a lot of hype. Then they came out with Rogue One, which did well, and there was still a lot of hope behind it. But when you go back and you think about even where we are now, or you just even go back to, let's say, around the time of the Rise of Skywalker, and think back to The Force Awakens, dude, that had all the messaging and that kind of shit in it from the beginning. And that's why the story basically starts to fall apart, because they're not concentrating on story. They're not concentrating on character development. It's just character success, or the presentation of character success, or character, fucking, again, the easiest way to say it is Mary Sue, right? Yeah. It was a remake of A New Hope, but even I got sucked into it. I'm not going to deny the fact that after the Force Awakens, and I feel shitty about it, because I watched, between when The Force Awakens came out and The Last Jedi came out, I reckon I watched The Force Awakens like at least once a week, so that I could absorb everything that I could, as much as I had, in regards to, I might be exaggerating a little bit, once a week. It would have been maybe at least once a month. Let's say that, right? But I wanted to absorb as much as I could. I read the books, and I thought that they were bad, but like the Aftermath novels, I read those. And there were some parts in it where I'm like, okay. But see, even then, I hadn't even really started the expanded universe yet. And now that I've learned a lot in the expanded universe, going back to what I'd read in something like Aftermath, going back and looking at what they've done through some of the shows and some of the movies in regards to now what I've seen Star Wars actually is through the expanded universe, man, that's why, to me, Disney Star Wars isn't actually Star Wars. Because if you look at what Star Wars is, and the stories that were told, and the character work, and the world building, and all of that, just doesn't exist over here. And the seals can keep clapping, because eventually it's just going to die. It's not going to be enough. And we're seeing that, and we'll get into that. Whoa. Again, I'm the most passionate about Star Wars, obviously. But I still feel for, your Star Trek people out there. They're going through similar shit. Your Doctor Who fans out there. Even the Marvel fans. Look at the DC universe right now. James Gunn starts his DCU with Superman, tries to bring in a couple of things from Snyder, a couple of characters at least from the Snyderverse stuff, and tries to shift it and change it so that you don't have to pay attention to it, but it's still, it's so stupid to me. But anyway, he comes out with Superman. Superman leads, apparently it's so important to go into Peacemaker, almost PG rated to R rated. That decision is ridiculous and stupid and retarded in itself, right? But then, because of the controversy that Peacemaker has caused and the backlash that the fans have come to that, just the same play, call them racist. I had somebody, I did the video on that this week. You may have watched it. You may not have, but it's there. I had a person comment in that saying, "Oh, you're just like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, baiting this narrative of racism." Like, I can't even remember the comment. It was so stupid. But it's like, what? Like, okay, if you don't think that what James Gunn is doing is ridiculous in regards to calling the fans racist that disagree or don't like that, how I perceive what he has done is exactly that. You don't have to agree with that. But to say that I'm copying or doing the same things as Gary and Critical, I mean, fuck, I don't talk to these people. Like, I love Gary to death. I think he's awesome. But like, and I've spoken to him a couple of times, been on a couple of streams here and there with him and everything. But like, I don't like, oh, let me see what Gary's doing a video on. I'm going to do a video on that. No, I saw it. I fucking thought that's ridiculous and thought, I've got an opinion. I'm going to do a video on it. You know, just because, let's say, somebody like Gary or Critical Drinker thinks about what James Gunn did, or even Ryan or Jeremy or any of those people out there have the same viewpoint or the same thought process when they see something like that as me, doesn't mean that we're sitting there fucking, hey, Ryan, make sure you do it. Like, no one does that. No one does that. Well, look, I can't speak for everybody and say no one does that, but I certainly don't do that. I don't have people that care enough about my channel to say, "Oh, do a video on this and make sure you're doing a video on this." And, you know, we're going to make sure the algorithm grows around this narrative. What the fuck? It's how people perceive these things, and they're just doing what they see. They're talking about what they see. You know, we call it the same play out of the same playbook when they call the fans racist or sexist or misogynistic. Dude, and I said this in my video, it's not even a playbook. They've got a piece of paper that says, if they're criticizing the fact that you've, let's say, gender swapped, call them sexist. If you're talking about something that they've race swapped or something that revolves around race, call them racist. The funny thing is that they can't even see that the entertainment that they're making, when they do something like that, they're the ones being sexist. They're the ones being racist by even doing that. They don't even see it. There you go. That was the comment. Thank you for finding that. Another grifter who wants to be like Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker. Try another thing. This rage bait framing is just boring. I'm not rage baiting. I'm disappointed in the entertainment that we're getting right now. Very, very disappointed. And also, too, very worried about some of the entertainment that we're getting. And we'll get to the Netflix stuff. Anybody that's been paying attention knows exactly what I'm talking about. But like, dude, talking about paying attention, man, there are still so many normies out there that just are oblivious, completely oblivious. And the crazy thing about some of that too is that even when you tell them, they want to be naive. They don't even want to open their mind up to the possibility that what you're saying could be true. And that's dangerous too. Because that you know how dangerous that is? That essentially results in, again, like things like the COVID vaccines. That results in people just giving in to the digital ID that's being pushed around the world right now. Fucking dangerous, man. So you're saying there is no collusion? Well, look, there's no collusion on my end. Certainly not. But I also wouldn't think. That if let's say you're streaming constantly with somebody, like I stream with Flash all the time, all the time. We do I go on Flashcast, right? Now, yeah, he talks a lot about anime and stuff like that, and video games. Now, he might be talking about something, let's say in a Flashcast room, and like there's a conversation happening, and I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe I'll just do a video on that and talk about that and give my thoughts and opinions on that. Now, if my thoughts and opinions happen to align with what Flash said, okay, that's still how I felt about it. But I don't think that that's necessarily collusion in any way. And that hasn't even happened. That hasn't even happened. I'm just using that as an example. And so what if it did? But like, I don't think people are necessarily getting together and I mean, the news is the news. If something's trending, if something's talking about, I mean, fuck, I'm about to talk about, the first thing that we're going to talk about is something that started trending this morning that I don't usually talk about. Which, believe it or not, is Hassan Piker. Let's get into that, actually. Excuse me. I'm going to need my headphones, aren't I, for this? So, if you've been paying attention this morning, well, for me, it's been this morning, early afternoon, Hassan Piker has been he's sort of outed himself as basically an animal abuser. Very, very cruel to his dog. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't like Hassan, especially with like the rhetoric and the things that he's been sort of saying. I've seen clips. I don't watch him, but I've seen clips, and obviously there's been times that we've talked about it on Flashcast and stuff like that. So I'm very aware of the kind of person Hassan Piker is. But I also and I think it's disgusting that this guy even is able to be platformed with some of the things that he has said. But I also want to point out that if this is the thing that takes him down, then we're still we're in fucking trouble, guys. If this is what takes him down, if it comes to cruelty to animals is what takes Hassan down, and not his cruelty towards the human race in the way that he's spoken in the past, then there's something really, really wrong with the world that we live in. Now, I'm not saying that the cruelty to animals, I'm disgusted by what I've seen. But come on, guys, this guy's been spitting this guy's been a devil for a long time. This guy's had demons in him for a long time. Been saying and doing a lot of shit that should have taken him down, but he gets to continue. I don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen after this. This breaks my heart seeing this. Because the more, I watched it a couple of times before we started, and there's a couple of things that need to be pointed out here.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Okay. Fucking painful to watch. Like, I hate that. The way that that dog yelps and, like, then he sort of just stares her down and she just sort of gets comfortable. Now, there's a couple of things here to look at, right? First things first. The dog gets up, seems to just sort of do this little circle, comes off that little bed thing with its two front paws, right? And sort of turns around to go back and get back on. Now, all he had to do is obviously, Kaya, please stop, like jump back on the bed. And it looked like the dog was about to do it. Now, this is the thing. When he says that too, is that he looks down this way. Now, you like nitpick, investigation, like all of this kind of thing. It is pretty plainly and easy to see what has happened here. And yes, it is a shock collar. And yes, he looked for the button and he found where the button was and he pushed the button as the dog was getting back onto its bed. Disgusting. He knows where it is, but he looks at it. His arm moves towards it. And just as he
Just stop.
hits the button, and a dog doesn't, like, people want to say, oh, maybe it got its nail. And man, that's fuck off with that. There's only so many times I can watch this, but
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. This guy is just evil. He's got a black heart. He's evil to his core. I feel sorry for this dog, the fact that it's had to be brought up in this household with this evil piece of shit that's probably kicked it, probably picked it up and thrown it across the room, just all off screen. I'm just speculating here, but it wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you? And the way he sort of stares the dog down.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Well, what it looked like the dog was doing to me, you fucktard, if you were paying attention and weren't just a cruel, evil piece of shit. What it looked like was your dog was comfortable on its bed, sort of got up, did a little circle, right? Went to get back up onto its bed, and just as it got back up onto its bed, you shocked the shit out of it for doing absolutely nothing wrong. That's what it looked like the dog was doing. Being that the dog can't talk back to you, that would be the dog's explanation. God, it makes me angry.
You're being such a baby.
You are being such a demon.
It's just you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Good to see that you still live with your mom. Yeah, I'm not watching that again. I'm sorry. But then, like, this emerged. I didn't even know about this until obviously I saw it today. So Hassan's obviously got this guest. I don't even know who this person is. Doesn't matter. Got this guest who obviously loves dogs. This dog loves her, obviously, because the dog doesn't seem to get loved in its hair in this person's house.
And now it's mainstream. I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we can.
Even just the fact that he just said it's a, and then he sort of stops and goes, like he was about to say it's a shock collar, so it needs to be tight. Look at the dog looking into his eyes, going, why can't you be more like her? That's almost a sad image, just looking at that. You can almost see the fear and the pain in the dog's eyes looking at him.
It's you have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like,
She's like what?
There's a lot of neck meat.
Oh, there's a lot of neck meat. So to get around the neck meat, you got to roll it up and tighten it up, right? Look at the way she's looking, like she's looking at it. Look at the way that the dog's looking at him, with the paw up on her. Dude, I think it's pretty obvious that this guy wouldn't just like, he'd just like everything to just be in pain and death and disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, and XQC did like a full investigation on the collar that's on his dog.
Hold on.
I don't know what he's trying to do here.
You see it, chat?
What's the point that he's trying to make?
Look.
You don't need the arrows, dude. We just saw what you did.
It beeps. It beeps.
Okay, sorry, I don't even understand the context of why he's trying to prove that it beeps. Does that mean it's on a timer? Does that mean it's like a proximity thing? I don't understand what the point that XQC is trying to make. Yeah, right. Yeah, a dog wouldn't yelp like that for nothing. A dog wouldn't like that. Yeah, that's... I mean, you could be play fighting with a dog and hurt the dog, and it probably wouldn't even yelp like that. And when I say hurt, like obviously accidentally hurt the dog. It's a device. I understand that it's a device. I wonder why she couldn't feel it or see it. Like, yeah, look, she's grabbing it there with both hands. She's trying to, you can see that she's like trying to get under the collar. I want to see when he grabs it. Like, you can't even see the collar. You can't even see the collar. He's grabbing skin. That's sad, man. That's really fucking sad. And really disgusting, to be honest with you. But it's like I sort of said, okay, yeah, I want fucking Hassan to just go, to just disappear. Not like taken out or whatever. Just disappear, like stop talking. Stop saying the things that you're saying. Now, I know that that's a dangerous thing to say right now with freedom of speech and all of that kind of crap. Dude, he incites violence. He talks about killing people and, basically just doing a lot of violent shit. I believe he's in support of terrorist organizations and stuff like that. And he's cruel to animals. I mean, should this be anyone that should be able to influence or talk to anyone? I was about to say your kids, but like, I would hope that on this fucking shit he's clicking not for kids. But you know what I'm saying? This is dangerous. Really dangerous. Not just the dog thing. I'm talking about all his fucking shit that he talks about. everything that he does. Maybe. Maybe. That's true too. I mean, it probably would have been hard for her to say even that on his stream. Like, you're in his house, you're on his stream and everything. And to say, you know, I think it's a little too tight. You should be able to fit 2 fingers, and I'm only able to fit one. I can't even fit one. I don't know. I don't know. It's not very nice, not very kind. Like, this is where, like, I kind of look at the animal activists, right? You want to see cruelty to animals? Watch somebody like Hassan. Don't go after the fucking the beef mills or the fucking those animals are actually pretty well taken care of. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with using these animals to fucking feed us. I don't think there is. But this is where cruelty to animals happens. More so in the home than in fucking these farms. But again, look, if this is the thing that takes him down, not all the other rhetoric that he's fucking spurted over the fucking time that he's been spitting shit, I still think that there's something wrong with the world. I'm sure we'll probably be talking about this more on Flashcast this week. I'll be getting drunk and I'll be fucking yelling, "Fuck you, Hassan, you're a fucking cunt." What else we got to talk about? What else do we have to talk about? Actually, let's talk about this really quickly because it's just really the trailer. The Witcher. The Witcher season 4. I think I don't know why they would. Well, you kind of do know why. They've been almost trying to hide this. They released a little teaser trailer first, and then today or yesterday, I should say, they came out with, I think it was yesterday, October 8th, yeah. They came out with like a full proper trailer. Now we're going to watch the trailer, but I watched season 1 of The Witcher and I didn't think it was too bad. I definitely liked Henry Cavill's portrayal of Geralt. Season 2 I watched and I didn't like it. It started to go, that's when it started to go full on. I don't know how much of it was really in season 1, but season 2 started to really go full on. And that's obviously also too when really the controversy started with Henry Cavill in regards to the fact that he wanted to be more loyal to the source material. And they couldn't handle that. And that's where Henry Cavill becomes a really big problem for a lot of these studios because he is a nerd. He is a geek. He is a fan of these things. You know, it's funny. I saw it actually recently. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The interview where he gets asked, you know, what's his escape? What's his thing? And he goes, my jam is Warhammer 40K. And the 2 women on the panel do almost the eye roll shaming thing. The other guy that's sitting there goes, oh, that's cool. I use these people. And they have like a quick little thing, right? But these women are rolling their eyes. Now, look, if they were to ask, what's your thing? What do you like to do? And they're like, oh, man, I don't know. What's something that women like to do? Fuck. Even if it was, my thing is to collect Barbies. that's a little bit different than something like Warhammer 40K, to be honest with you. I need something that is still perceived to be childish for women, but a lot of women do it, that men would roll their eyes to. But you get my point, right? If they were to say that, Henry Cavill wouldn't sit there and roll his eyes. Or maybe he would, but it would be like more of that there is more in judgment, if anything. Necrons, yeah. But like, this just goes to show women think that they understand men, but they certainly don't. They really don't. And I'm not saying that men understand women, because we certainly fucking don't. But we don't pretend that we do. I just hate it when I see shit like that. In a moment where Henry is essentially being vulnerable, especially when it comes to something like Warhammer 40 fucking K. But he basically almost immediately gets shamed for it by the women. But see, they wouldn't care because he's hot, right? They don't see things that way. They're not sexist like men are. They would forego. This is the funny thing about women. I've gone completely off track, off fucking Witcher. But this is the funny thing about women, is that they will completely ignore how much of an ick the Warhammer 40K thing is, because Henry is so hot. And they think men think like that. Anyway, let's watch the trailer, shall we? It's the way that they roll the eyes. It's more like they think that they've got like almost the high ground now over you, because you are just a child. Sorry that people have hobbies. You know, all this stuff makes me a child, right? Makes me so immature. Oh, man. Fuck them. No, I love women, but I fucking hate them at the same time. Like, how can you not? Now, okay, so the Witcher actual trailer, like I said, it dropped yesterday. It's currently got 781,000 views with 15,000 upvotes to 51,000 downvotes. Boom, boom. Massive ratio. Are we blackpilling, Rhino? No, we're not blackpilling. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet. Yeah. Look at those dislikes. Look at those dislikes. Now, like I was sort of saying, season 1, didn't mind it. Thought it was fine. Actually kind of enjoyed it. Certainly enjoyed watching Henry. I feel like that was the first season was the one that obviously concentrated on Geralt the most. And then as you move on to season 2, it's less and less Geralt and more Ciri or whatever her name is, and fucking the other chick. Great tits. But yeah, the season 2. Season 3, I didn't even watch. With the announcement that obviously Henry was leaving, like if you were paying attention around that time, there was a massive petition to get rid of the writers and keep Henry from the fans. But those were all just sexist, right? It would have had to have been sexist because they were saying how it's now being more concentrated on the women. So it had to be a sexist narrative, more so than a racist narrative, right? But even with the downfall of essentially season 3, and now look at what's happening with season 4. They are still trying to spin it that like, oh, Henry left because they're not throwing him completely under the bus, right? But they are by saying, oh, Henry left because no. It wasn't her that was naked, it was the other one. The brunette chick. The witch. Why can't I remember her name? It's because I watched season 1, kind of enjoyed it. Didn't watch watch season 2, fucking hated it, and then that was the end of that. Yennefer, that's the one. That's the one. She had great tits. Let's watch this and then we'll continue talking about it.
Geralt, you spent a lifetime battling monsters and men. Your entire being is dedicated to finding someone who you fear you failed. You're Ciri.
Always lost, never found.
She's not who she says she is.
None of us are.
God. I've seen a couple of people talk about this. I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I think that's why a lot of people are talking about this. This is the scene. This is the shot of really, you can't even just say The Witcher. It's modern fantasy. This is the image of modern fantasy right now. Not one of them looks like a strong warrior. You can't tell whether or not this guy wants to be a woman. The side shaved head, woman of color, she's probably going to be the one that's the most courageous out of all of them. I don't know, another woman, possible man of color, short dude, I don't know. You got the skinny white chick, the Karen, you would probably say. And then the fat guy. I mean, fuck, it could be a fat chick for all we know.
We are joining Geralt across the continent.
You know who he looks like in that to me, and I don't even like to say this. Anyone, I can't even remember the actor's name. As soon as I say, though, the movie that he's in, the chat will know. The chat will correct me. Who does he look like? There. I'm just going to say it because, the actor from Highlander? What's his name? This is the problem, though, too, is that, okay, you can make him look like Geralt, but, like, going from the way that Henry Cavill looked as Geralt, no, not Chris Hemsworth, Christopher Lambert. You don't reckon, does anybody agree or disagree? To me, he almost looks like Christopher Lambert there. But the point that I was trying to make was like Henry's got very broad shoulders. He's like almost very square in his shape, right? Whereas there is that very distinct difference. There's no way that Liam Hemsworth can put on the size that Henry Cavill has. But yeah.
Joining Geralt across the continent to reclaim that.
What a company I've ended up with.
Now, this is the other point that I want to make. This isn't a sting on Liam Hemsworth or anything like that at all. This is certainly the studio's fault. I don't like the way Liam is actually, the voice is very different. I know he's trying, right? And that's where I can only say I can't put any blame on him. Because I think with the way that he's, from what I'm seeing, in the way that he's trying it, it's enough, right? But it's hard to go from seeing Henry Cavill as Geralt to then seeing Liam as Geralt as the same Geralt, if that makes sense. Again, it's not Liam's fault.
Something is shifting on this continent. Vilgefortz is gathering an army. Whatever he's up to, Ciri's at the center of it.
She will be mine.
Can we win this fight? We can if we build an army of our own. We need to save Ciri.
They're building an army of women. Not if we build an army of our own. Then you just see these women training. Man. And this is why Henry Cavill left. Because he wanted it to be what the source material was. And they started moving away from that. And then he said, all right, fine, I'm out. See you later. And I feel so sorry for Henry when it comes to the roles that he's been given. Superman, The Witcher. Isn't there another one that I'm missing? Whatever it is, he's fans of these things, and then they just destroy them in front of his eyes. They play with him when it comes to, announce that you're going to continue being Superman. Oh, no, we'll just snatch that from underneath you, sweep the rug out, you know. I have no doubt that for him, legitimately, these are dream roles to play these characters. And they want to try and spin it to say, oh, yeah, he left because, you know, he had more responsibilities to doing Superman or something along those lines. He had other things that he was concentrating on. What a load of shit. We know why he left. He left because you removed what this was from the source material.
We are stronger together.
This show should be called Yennefer and Friends, not The Witcher. I gotta say, Yennefer, like, she's hot to me. I think she's hot. I'm a sucker for brunettes, though, as well.
You'd abandon a life of peace to join me on a death march. Until the day you die.
You did not mention anything about an ominous graveyard of death.
Let's fucking move!
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Let's fucking move! Like, I'm sorry, that's not Geralt to me. I don't think that fucking that line would have landed with fucking Henry.
Graveyard of death.
Let's fucking move! What if I can't save her?
Will humanity survive another day?
Saving someone is the most important job.
The Witcher is in a state of flux. You are
What? The Witcher is in a state of flux.
becoming something new.
Today we fight for our future!
And it's becoming something new. Oh, yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is becoming something fucking new.
How will you be reborn?
I've always found it funny how they use, like, there's so much messaging in it. How will you be reborn? Like, man, obvious. You're making it so obvious that you're removing this from being The Witcher to being something else. A lot like Star Wars. that it? That's it.
Gathering an army.
Where was that opening fucking shot of? Like, you see what I'm saying though? Like, even in that shot there, compared to the way Henry looked. I don't know. What do you guys think? I like I said, I didn't watch season 3. I'm not watching season 4. It just makes me wonder whether or not it will go to a 5th season or not. Or did I hear correctly that they actually shot 4 and 5 at the same time? They knew. They already knew, so they just shot it. They shot it all. How will you be reborn as Thor, God of Thunder? That's funny. That's funny. But this is the other thing too with our entertainment right now is this The Witcher would be something I would be massively interested in watching if it was The Witcher. And I'm sure a lot of you could probably speak the same. Like, you'd be a lot more interested in seeing it if it was basically an adaptation of the source material, right? But that seems to be the biggest problem with a lot of our entertainment these days. Even when they come up with new stuff that doesn't actually maybe have source material, not that they actually do come up with a lot of new stuff, but even if they did, there's so much messaging in it that it's not even good entertainment because of the amount of crap that's actually in there, the amount of propaganda that they've put into these things. No, I play the game, it's better. Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. Maybe I did and I just like forgot or just blanked it out. I don't know. But like just reading that, like can't be worse than the Witcher spin-off with like did they do a spin-off, did they? Jesus. There you go. There you fucking go. Yeah. Well, I think most people would. Like season 1, like this is the thing for me is I've watched people play a lot of the game. I haven't actually played the game myself. And I haven't read any of the books. But watching season 1 was it was entertaining. I liked the way Geralt was. I thought it was fine and I thought it was good. People might disagree with me, people that know more about the lore and stuff like that, and that's totally cool. I'd be willing to listen at least. But when you started getting into season 2, and then obviously with what Henry Cavill had to say, why would anyone bother? The only people that are still bothering with something like this are the people that actually care about, if I can find it quick enough. Oh, there's another great example. I think it was the shot before that, though. People that care about that. These characters' character is their identity. These characters' character is their identity. So when you're watching it as somebody that wants to see character development and all of this kind of thing, that's not what you get. The crazy thing is they portray a lot of these characters as, let's say, victims or, you know, under oppression or all of this kind of thing. And even in the show, they never overcome that because their identity is to be that victim. That they never even progress forward to overcome their oppressors. There's no character. Their character is their identity. And you can't change their identity. That would be something phobic. So good luck to The Witcher. Good luck to you. I think that this says a lot. In fact, I'd like to see, let me just stop sharing my screen quickly here. I'd like to see, and this is something that I did with Star Wars recently, is I went back and I had a look at how many views did the Force Awakens trailer had compared to what some of the more recent trailers are getting now. And Jesus, 111 million views for The Force Awakens. Yes. Now, I always have to put the disclaimer in there. That's 9 years ago, right? How many times, though, do you think that that trailer's been watched since, let's say, The Last Jedi? How many times do you think the Force Awakens trailer has been watched since The Last Jedi? Maybe a few million times, perhaps. Let's say even if it was 11 million times, that's still 100 million between the time that the Force Awakens trailer came out and 2 years later for the Last Jedi. Let's say it's even 80 million. Let's say it's 60 million views. Do you know how much the fucking Mandalorian and Grogu trailer is sitting at right now? 9.3 million. Yeah, 2 weeks. But fuck. It's the newest Star Wars movie to come out in 7 years. 7 years? Or when did the fucking... No, it's not that many years. 5 years. 2019? 9.3 million views. Yeah, hey, 9.3 million views isn't something to just, sure, man, who wouldn't love to get 9.3 million views on a video? Come on, guys, you need to push my shit out there more. But no, from 111 million views from this massive break from Star Wars coming back, everybody's excited, everybody's pumped, all the Star Wars fans are united, ready for more Star Wars. It'd be interesting. It'd actually be interesting to wait 9 years from now and see how many views the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer has. Don't you reckon? That'd be interesting. That's the next time somebody asks me, if you had a time machine and you could only ever travel forwards or backwards in time once, that's where I'm going. 9 years ahead, just to see whether or not, how many views the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer has. I'll take a photo, come back to this timeline, do a video, take off. Funny. What was I checking? The Witcher Season 1 trailer. All right. We've got the Geek Blend. How you doing? Hey, mate, hope you are well. I'm well. Hope you're well too. Star Wars is dead. Yes, it is. It would take a miracle to save it now. Cheers, bud. Cheers to you too. The Geek Blend. Man, I used to stream with Geek Blend early days of doing YouTube. We did the Raging Geek Jedi show over on his channel. It was good. Good times. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, Star Wars is dead. And there is no recovery. A miracle can't save Star Wars now. A miracle can't even do it. But good to see you. Thanks for the $20. Let's take a look at this really quickly. We don't need to watch it, obviously. We're just checking it for the statistics of it all. So, The Witcher Season 1 trailer, the main trailer. Let's take a look. 26 million views, 535,000 upvotes to 19,000 downvotes. Not even 1 million views in a day. Okay? You 26 million in 5 years. Okay, it's been a day. It's got 750,000 views. But 15,000 upvotes. That's how many downvotes the other one fucking had. 19,000 downvotes. Fuck. This one has more downvotes than this one has upvotes. And 51,000 down. That should be telling you something, Netflix. That should be telling you that the audience has left. The audience is gone. I actually can't believe that. I'm glad we checked that. 553,000 likes. Now, yeah, there's a massive discrepancy in the view count. But that's the other thing too, is nobody cares about this. They're already done. They were done when Henry Cavill clearly said that these guys want to do something other than the source material, so I'm out. That destroyed your show. Because a lot of the fans trust Henry Cavill more than they trust you. Crazy. Crazy. I can't believe, I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be mainly positive. But that upvote, like the interaction. And yeah, okay, let's make the argument again. How many views do you think that this trailer had, let's say a year after, or 6 months after season 1 aired? I mean, you got to say, this probably died after season 1 aired. So even still, let's take 6 million off that. You're still talking 20 million. Let's take out, what's that? It's basically 20%, isn't it? So let's take out 20%. So let's take out another, let's say it's had 400,000 upvotes by the time it aired. I don't even think that I think we're being completely generous with those calculations based on the fact that it's a trailer. And once the thing airs, it's very rare for a person to go back and rewatch the trailer. Unless people are just doing it for nostalgia reasons. Like sometimes when we go back and we might watch one of the old Star Wars trailers from the prequels or the original trilogy trailers. But that's a huge differential, man. That's a massive drop off of fans, and they've done it to themselves. The crazy thing for me is that it seems like in the political landscape, with maybe Trump being elected and stuff like that, a shift was felt. A shift is sort of coming, getting the women's out of the men's sports and all. Sorry, getting the men's out of the women's sports and all of that kind of shit. Like the shift from the wokeness was coming, but it seems like the studios and the people making a lot of the propaganda are just full steam ahead with the garbage. Full steam ahead. Now, can you make the argument? Yeah, they were already in production. They'd already made the scripts. They'd already started writing. They'd already started filming or whatever, and they just had to finish it. And maybe the next thing they'll make the shift. I can't trust that, and I can't believe that anymore. Because the fact that they're even trying to hide this from people in regards to the fact that they're dropping teasers and trailers and stuff, and it's not trending, tells you that they should have made the change if they actually realized that a change was necessary, that they should have made the change a long time ago. But they don't care about that, right? Insane. Insane. I can't believe that. Can't believe that. I can, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? So good luck to The Witcher, I guess. That was that trailer. Funnily enough, I barely even actually watched the trailer. I don't know what I saw while I was watching it. All that I could pay attention to was the massively diverse cast that you decided to throw in there. I don't really know exactly what the storyline of this season is. Now, I'm not rolling out of, obviously, season 3 either. So I don't even know where we ended up with season 3. But, you know, that's another telling sign thing too, is like I was a complete normie when it came to The Witcher. In fact, I barely knew anything when it came to The Witcher. And because it was Henry Cavill and because I know that Henry loves his, nerdy, geeky stuff, and he's always trying to do right by a lot of the source material and the things that he's involved in, I decided to give it a chance for that first season, and I enjoyed it. And then they destroyed it. So there was the possibility of the Witcher franchise grabbing maybe some new support, some new fans. But before you could even give those fans a chance to learn more or see more or play a video game or read one of the books or anything like that, you destroyed it before you could even get those people to watch or read or do anything. Craziness. Fucking craziness. Man, I got a dry throat. So bad. Probably shouldn't be drinking so much fucking soft drink. So much Coke. So much V. And we'll smoke a cigarette, which will help. That'll get rid of my dry, sore throat. It's not really sore. It's just dry. You know me? I know. Go watch Space King. You need a laugh. Raging normie. All right. Let's talk a little bit about some of the Star Wars news from this week. Possibly even rolling into last week. We'll get to the Netflix stuff in a second. We will also get to some Marvel stuff in a second. And then we do have some Ahsoka leaks to talk about. I don't even want to call them leaks. I want to call them rumors. Rumors of leaks. Because I don't believe the person that's reporting them. I haven't heard them. I just know who's reporting them. And I just don't believe them. Let's get into this really quickly. How you guys doing? How you guys doing in the chat? Lurkers, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Appreciate you massively. Smash the like button if you haven't smashed the like button too. Subscribe, all that good shit, you know. Play the game. Play the game. YouTube algorithm game. All right. So, g'day, John Connors. Good to see you. Lurker. Firafema. Lurking. See, they're all there. They're always there. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. Ahsoka Season 2 has wrapped filming. What are your expectations? DJ Nuisance. Good to see you. My expectations for Ahsoka season 2 is don't get me wrong, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of new cameos in this series. I feel like they are still going to play on a lot of the mystery box elements, kind of like what they did with that, what was his name? Maggot? No. The one that turned into a fart cloud. Fucking who knows? Who can remember the name? I remember that it was like a little bit of a rip-off from an EU thing, but I can't remember it. I don't think that there's going to be much of that. I just think that there's going to be a lot of stupid writing. I still think that there's going to be a lot of those pauses and the arms crossed and the stoicism. Farty McFart Cloud? Yeah, well, that'll do. That'll do. But I also think like they're gonna do Thrawn bad again. To be honest with you, I don't really have any expectation anymore. My expectation is that they're just going to do some more destruction to either the universe, to actual characters. I heard a rumor, and I can't even remember where I heard it, and it might be clipped out. I can't remember where I saw it or where I heard it, but I heard a rumor that Anakin could be fighting Baylan Skoll. Now, as far as I know, the only way that can really happen is if it's in the world between worlds, unless it's Vader. Because Vader still exists. That's where this series is going to try and get all its stuff, or get all its hype and attention is through Anakin / and or Vader. Anakin and Ahsoka have a Force baby. They will recast Baylan Skoll. I think they already have. Well, clearly they already have if they've finished filming and Baylan Skoll's still in it. So, yay. But then obviously there was Bryce Dallas Howard that calls Ahsoka Season 2 epic and romantic. And that's obviously led a lot of people to think about this. Because originally don't laugh. Yeah, I know. Don't, man, I'm not laughing. They're fucking going to do shit like that. I don't disagree with you. In the Rebels, Sabine and Ezra, yes, there was definitely a brother-sister dynamic, but there was also an attraction there. They definitely played on it. Marok, that's the name. Thank you. That turned into a fart cloud. Yeah. And a rip-off of Merrick, yeah. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so that's led a lot of people to think about Shin Hati and Sabine Wren in shipping those two characters. And look, it's more on the cards. To me, this is more likely. I agree with that. But this is more likely than Sabine Ezra. This is more likely than Hera being in any sort of romantic relationship. It's more likely than really Ezra being any form of romantic relationship. Ahsoka, Balin. It would not surprise me in the slightest. Okay, Evan Martin, good to see you. But yeah, the fact that it is even being described as romantic is interesting, to say the least. It is so good. It's beautiful. It's thrilling. Adventure. Who talks like that? It is romantic. It is everything you want from an epic story. These people talk like I don't know, man. Yeah, I understand that you've got to hype up the show that you're a part of, but and I don't think Bryce Dallas Howard's episodes of anything that she's done has really been any good. Well, I'd argue that all the fucking stuff that Disney Star Wars has done hasn't been any good. You know, I've talked about how there's, out of all the Bad Batch episodes, there was 3 episodes that were actually any good. I've talked about how in certain things, yeah, look, there's a good element there. There's a good little thing there. They did something okay there. But in the grand scheme of things, it is completely surrounded and infiltrated by, well, the message, but it's completely surrounded by crap. Huh. The fact that the Purgles are even like a fucking thing. So that is Ahsoka season 2. Now, like I said, we are going to watch the leaks of Anakin in Ahsoka season 2. Sounds insane. Okay, so that's from Den of Shills. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we do Seal of the Week. So there's obviously that news. We're just going to go through some of the Star Wars, let's say, announcements or things that they came out with. So there's a rumor going around that because of Star Wars Starfighter might reportedly launch a new Ryan Gosling-led trilogy. You know, it's funny that they sort of did this. Like, I don't buy into any rumors anymore, especially when it comes to Lucasfilm. With I'll always now just wait and see. They did the same thing with Rian Johnson. They basically said, oh, we're going to give Rian Johnson a trilogy before they even released the movie. Now, they're not saying that they're giving... Who's doing this? Is it Sean Levy? I know James Mangold is... We're going to talk about that in a second. But is it Sean Levy that's doing this? I can't remember. Whoever it is that's doing this, they're not saying that it's going to be a his trilogy necessarily. They're just saying that it's going to be a trilogy led by Ryan Gosling. Now, this is the other thing too, is I keep hearing rumors and stuff about this show saying that this is going to lead into or explain sequels or lead into a Rey movie or something, or like something along those lines. And people are surprised by that. Like, really? Are you actually, like, is that news to you? Because to me, that just seems to be what they've been doing over the last 7 years. The Mandalorian and all the cloning stuff that they did in The Mandalorian. Where do you think that's leading? What do you think that's in relation to? What do you think that they've been trying to do for ever since they came out with these shows? All they are trying to do in more recent times is discredit lore and continuity and everything from previous, like, George Lucas stuff, while trying to change lore in real time and canon, mind you, And while doing that, trying to make the sequels a better received thing through explanation or homework, you could say. Because you can't sit down and watch the sequel trilogy and just watch the sequel trilogy and have understanding. You just can't. And the seals out there will say that they can. You know how they say it? Like this. They say that they can. But they can't. They really can't. What was this other thing to do with Starfighter? I didn't even realize I had this up here. Mia Goth says she's so excited to be in the Star Wars Starfighter. I've met everyone. They've all been lovely. I'm so excited. Okay, I didn't even know that. Who is this? Am I supposed to know who that is? Mia Goth. What's she been in? Mia Goth. Is this that Wednesday actor? Okay, so she's been in Pearl, Maxine with triple X's in it. Okay. A movie called X, Frankenstein, Infinity Pool, Blade. She was in Blade. She's already got a credit for Star Wars Starfighter. She's in a movie called Emma from the year 2020. She was in Everest in 2015. What role did she play in that? Let me go back to that. Everest. There you go. Well, nothing really of any interest to me that she's ever been in. But, okay. So she's excited to be in it. There was something else. Where was it? No. Why don't I have the tab here? I thought I had. No. There it is. Oh, okay. So this is one of the seals of the week. I'm going to leave it here. But this is from Jacob, but we're not even going to talk about that for a second. Amy Adams' character in Star Wars Starfighter is reportedly a Jedi. Her son, Flynn Gray, Gay, is Force sensitive. And obviously Jacob is talking about it being Mara. And this is where the Mara Jade rumor comes from, I believe, is the fact that Amy Adams was cast in Starfighter. To me, that is just the same as them saying fucking, what's her name, is in The Mandalorian and Grogu. What's her name? Oh, now I'm blanking on fucking her name. Ripley. So, Amy Adams, okay. Look, if they do bring in a character and they name, and she's a redhead, and they name her Mara, even if it's something other than Mara Jade, like Mara, and then have a different last name, like that. Daisy Ridley? No, not Daisy Ridley. Sigourney Weaver. Thank you. I'm just so retarded. I can't even think of that name. Sigourney Weaver. It's like them casting Sigourney Weaver in The Mandalorian and Grogu. But yeah, look, as far as I'm concerned now when it comes to Disney Star Wars, do it. Just show us how much you want to plagiarize the EU that you decided to decanonize, because you've already started doing it. You've already started plagiarizing it, and not even not well at all. You're just grabbing characters, bringing them in, making them completely different. The biggest example for me is Thrawn. They made Thrawn so fucking stupid. Mara Wade. Yeah, they made Thrawn so stupid. They already showed Revan in that Lego show. Yeah, no, I know that. But like, oh, dude. This is where, for me, I really do need to make sure that in my mind, I keep it completely separate. I keep it completely separate. Because that dude, when they bring in a Revan character into live action and stuff, dude. And it wouldn't surprise me if they made Revan a chick. Because of the game. Actually, let's go to this really quickly. So, Keira Knightley wants a Star Wars spin-off project focused on sorbet. Sorbet? I can't remember. Sorbet, it reminds me of that ice cream stuff, the sorbet, frozen sorbet. We'll go pitch it to Disney, she says. I should be getting the spin-off. I'm going to phone Ryan Gosling and be like, dude, what happened to sorbet? I don't know. To me, I'd need context for this interview. To me, it almost seems like she's sort of just joking there. But you never know. This is the thing with these people, is I think that they know what I think like somebody like Keira Knightley knows what she's asking for. She wants just a female-led Star Wars show because there's so many female-led shit right now. Right? Around a character that nobody cares about. No one gives two shits about the character of Sorbet. The fucking the doppelganger of Padme Amidala. Her security, basically. But, you know, I'm still seeing reports now, and we talked about this, like, you know, a few months ago in regards to the stuff that Star Wars is reporting right now, because they blew their load early. They blew their load. They released everything that they had for this year, basically in the first half of the year, which left nothing for the second half of the year. So the only way to keep Star Wars momentum, if they have any, or like relevancy, is to continually, dude, once a week at the moment, I'm seeing a report saying, oh, Ewan McGregor wants to come back and do an Obi-Wan season 2. Nearly once a week, I see somebody saying, oh, how awesome that would be. Or like one of the news things coming out and saying, like your Culture Craves or your one of those saying that, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi wants to come back and play Obi-Wan Kenobi again. Fuck, man. At this point in time, you may as well flood it. You may as well just do it. The thing is maybe Disney is looking at it and going, oh, well, fuck. We can't really do another Obi-Wan Kenobi show because we spent so much money on the first one and it made no fucking money. What do we do? But sometimes I think that the money doesn't even matter. It's the message that matters more. There's a super creepy comic with her in it. Really? But to make a show, a spin-off show about her, I don't mind. It's like a bit like Wednesday, for example. Winter. Why did I say Wednesday? Winter in the expanded universe. You know, Leia's closest confidant, you could say. Her assistant. She got a photographic memory. She's like a recording device. she's that awesome, right? Now, Winter as a character has a lot of character, but you certainly wouldn't do a spin-off show just revolved around the character of Winter, would you? She's very prevalent throughout a lot of moments in the expanded universe and very important to those moments, but you still wouldn't do a Winter TV show. You would do a show that revolves around the main characters of that, and Winter would be in the story, yes. And she'd still have a lot of character, even just having small cameo appearances throughout. But you wouldn't do a Winter show, just like you wouldn't do a Sorbet show, or you wouldn't do a fucking, you wouldn't do a Jar Jar Binks show. These are characters that have character, and people will argue on the Jar Jar Binks thing. Okay, I get that. I'm still just using it as a point. That, like, these aren't main characters. So there's no story really to be told. Yes, they have their stories and they have the things that happen to them, that they're just non-told stories. We've just got to, fucking, who knows? After Padme died, maybe Sorbet went and got married and had kids and fucking, or maybe she led an uprising on Naboo or something. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. But like I said, I think that Winter as a character is a fucking amazing character. An amazing character. And there's so much depth to Winter as a character. But I still would not be interested in seeing a live action Winter show. And you know what they'd call it? Do you know what Disney Star Wars would call the Winter series? Winter. What else have we got here? James Mangold's Star Wars film is still in the works at Lucasfilm. Now, when reports start coming out like this, it makes me start questioning it so much. So much. And it all started with Rian Johnson. Oh, yeah, my trilogy, it's still in the works. It's still in the works. 2 years later, it's still in the works. 3 years later, it's still in the works. I'm still working on my trilogy. Of course, I'm still working on my Star Wars trilogy. 4 years later, I'm still working on my Star Wars trilogy. Like, this is why when it comes to rumors and reports like this and stuff like this, I don't care anymore. Lucasfilm is just, they are a studio of announcements, hirings and firings. That's what they do. Until they find the right people that have the right politics that can put in the right fucking garbage into your entertainment. Set 25,000 years in the past. Co-written by Bo Williaman? Let me check out this person. What have you been involved in? What have you been involved in? What have you done? Let's see. Well, not much. So that there, this line here, why is that even important? Why is that even important? Okay, the one thing that I'll say is I have heard good things about House of Cards, which he was involved with. The most recent thing, Exophicus. I don't know. Let me pull that over here so you guys can see what I'm trying to pronounce. Yes. I was going to say that's the most recent thing, 2024. But that's all. That's it. That's it. That's this person's fucking. Nothing that I've ever heard of other than House of Cards, but I never watched it. So whoop-de fucking do. Like, I don't understand why that is so fucking like a dot point, so important, co-written by this fucking idiot that's done nothing, basically. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. Follows the origins of the Force. Okay. Cool. Based on the fact that you started this statement saying that it's still in the works, whatever, man. And I mentioned this in my video as well. You've got Star Wars' YouTube channel that has 4.22 million subscribers. Now, yes, you are getting the occasional, 115,000 views, 342,000 views on the non-dubbed trailer for Vision Season 3, and 135 on the dubbed trailer. Look at that, though. Look at that, though. These here, that's actually crazy. That's crazy to me. The Visions, non-canon Visions trailer has 300, let's combine them, has 500,000 views. The Mandalorian and Grogu trailer is stagnant at 9.3 million views. The live action, canon connecting, canon involving show, movie has what? 1%? No, what is that? 2%. 2% of the amount of views as... Oh, no, hang on. No, whoa. Yeah, okay, I'm retarded. Talking... Oh, man, I feel so stupid. Obviously, 9.3 million is more than 500,000. I'm so dumb. I started thinking about it in the millions. Now you can laugh and point at me. You're a fucking idiot. But even still, 9.3 million views. And this is the thing with their YouTube channel. Yes, they do come out with things like your original trailers for the Lego stuff. And I don't know why they're fucking announcing that Star Wars Outlaws is available now on Nintendo Switch, which has 18,000 views. And the Lego thing had 143,000 views. You've got this thing from Andor, like a clip from Andor, behind the scenes commentary with Tony Gilroy, right? For the scene where the riot happens, 348,000 views. You're not even drunk. I know. But this is the thing. Like, even though, let's say this clip here from Andor has 253,000 views, this next one from Andor only has 21,000 views, 24,000 views, 50,000 views, 21,000 views, and then back to another 339,000 views. But these are all like just clips taken from the shows. They've got nothing new to like publish. Occasionally you get like a Lego trailer that gets what? 500,000 views. Okay. More crap from all the crap that they've come out with. And most of it, like, yeah, Andor's still getting views over there. 840,000. But this Andor clip, 44,000. But look, original clip. Declassified, okay. What is that, like a behind the scenes thing or something? I don't understand. Or it's just a declassified, I don't even know. Official clip. The World of Andor. Official clip. These are just like fucking... 3 minutes. 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 3 Compilations. Star Wars is so fucking dead right now. And like I say right now, there's no recovery for this. Yeah, I'm still talking about it. Problem is, I love Star Wars. You know, I see somebody like Ryan who, when he talks about Star Wars, he still gets like pissed off and angry and emotional about it because he loved it for so long and he dove so deep into this world. And then Disney just came out and destroyed it. Dave Filoni's come out and destroyed it. He gets pissed off still about it. I still get pissed off about it. So good luck to him with everything that they do. Ahsoka Season 2. So at the beginning of next year, we're going to get Mandalorian and Grogu. And then what? In the second half of next year, we're going to get Ahsoka Season 2. Woo! And I agree with that. Disney Star Wars is dead. Star Wars, not Star Wars. I do agree with that. Let's see. What do we got next? Let me get rid of some of these tabs. I got so many tabs open. You can get rid of all the Star Wars crap. All the Star Wars crap. And I can get rid of that tab too. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, we got some Marvel stuff to go over. God, Marvel, man. Fucking hell. It would have been nice if at least one of these fucking franchises, one of these studios could have just been nice to at least one of these fucking things and actually done them properly. Disney killed my interest in Star Wars. Apathy has set in. I just don't care anymore. Yep. And the worst part about that is that for somebody like me, who, again, I knew the stories behind the expanded universe. I knew a lot, but I'd never actually read a lot, right? Because I was hoping that one day they'd do adaptations and tell these stories, you know, in live action, animation, however they did it. I was hoping that one day that would happen. And when Disney bought it, I thought that was going to happen. The problem is there are people that probably was in the same position as me when it came to that, and they're still not necessarily willing or wanting to go and read the expanded universe stuff. And I understand. There's a lot of time and it's very time consuming to go through and read these stories. And it just might not be that interesting to a lot of people. They might not be willing to take it that far. They were never willing to take it that far before. But maybe it's kind of like in me, now I've gotten to a point where I've realized there is no chance of us ever getting those stories, those true Star Wars stories, adapted to live action, to animation. We're never going to see those stories again. They're thrown in the bin. They're legends. They're gone, right? Their stories are done. That's not the Star Wars galaxy anymore in the way that they want to continue moving forward with the story. It was enough for me to go, all right, now I need to actually read these things. Now I need to get the context of some of the information that I know, because they're not going to give it to me through the way that I wanted to get it. Hell, why are you still talking when Anna has just cosplays as Chung-Li and then Storm? I saw her in a Chung-Li thing before we started. I haven't seen her in the Storm thing. I tell you what, her little baby is so cute. So cute. Every picture that Anna's sent me, like, just this smile, it's the cutest little smile. She's such a cutie. They did well. They did very well. And I think that she's going to be a great mother. And after meeting Peaches, I know that, like, I mean, he was already a father, obviously, but I know that he's going to be a good father as well. They're really, really good people. But yeah, they've got one of the cutest kids. All right. Yeah, so if you want to see Anna looking sexier than me, which isn't hard, you can go and check out Anna. Let's see. Like I said, I didn't see the Storm outfit. Is she still streaming? Is she still live? Oh, no. Doesn't look like she is. It looks like she's ended. There you go. Storm, eh? Fuck. I open up fucking Twitter, and the first thing is that clip of fucking Hassan. Fucking that Umbrella Guy's tweet is what I'm looking at. Sorry. Tug! He's good people too. Just finished. There you go. All right, let's talk about Marvel. Let's talk a little bit about Doomsday. Little bit about Doomsday. Now, I did a video on this as well, so you can check that out, check that video out. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about with Doomsday, because Channing Tatum made a very, very interesting point. I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned all of this in my video, but he made a very interesting point about Doomsday. He says, Doomsday will make your brain ooze out of your ears. That's interesting. It's just like, you know, like squeezing an orange out your ears. In the way that I knew when Blade walks on screen in Deadpool and Wolverine, it's that like, times like 50. Speaking as a comic fan, you're just not ready. So this to me is very telling, because yes, that one scene in Deadpool and Wolverine was probably the one scene, actually, there's probably two scenes that were a bit like, oh my God. The first one was when Chris Evans was Johnny Storm instead of Cap, right? I think everybody was expecting him to be Cap. It was obviously Johnny, which was a nice little thing. But then you also had the Blade thing. I think the Blade thing was probably a little bit bigger than the Chris Evans one. But if you're going to get that 50 times over in a movie, what else is the movie going to be about? I would actually hate to watch this movie in theaters. You know why? Because you're going to have all the seal clappers and all the people that just don't care and just are going to be like, the nostalgia is going to hit them and hit them and hit them again and again and again and again and again. You're not actually going to probably hear any of the fucking movie. You're probably not going to hear any of the fucking movie. No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. It was probably the biggest surprise for everyone. Nobody knew about Blade coming in. Nobody knew Wesley Snipes was going to be there. Nobody knew. So it was a shock to everybody when they saw it. A nice little surprise. I still think that Deadpool and Wolverine is such a nothing burger of a movie. I definitely think that Spider-Man No Way Home, I think it's No Way Home, the last one where they bring in the other Spider-Man, was a way better movie than Deadpool and Wolverine. I really like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I still think that the way that they ended it with Logan is like they should have just left it there. And it just that to me is just another example of them just making a mistake. Just making a mistake. If they want, honestly, they should have left Hugh Jackman's Wolverine where it was and done a Deadpool and Wolverine, but introduced it as a new cast. You could have done the Cavalry in that movie and it would have worked fine. People would have actually probably been fine and happy with it. It would have been a good way to introduce it. And you play on that. When you're breaking the fourth wall and you be like, well, we can't use the Hugh Arene if that's, make a joke out of it, whatever. We can't use him. He died in such an epic way in Logan or whatever, however you want to play it out. But you basically play on that and you go, and then you just do it as like, you could state it as, well, we've gone one better. And you just then roll the movie from there. I don't know. No, that's right. And that's why they did it. That's why they did it. But this is the thing again, is that it just falls over when it comes to actually being substantive. It falls over. So I thought it was interesting that you're trying to say that this is going to be like Blade walking in, but 50 times over. So that's what the movie is. That's what the movie is. There was this. The Russo brothers have shared a new cryptic photo from the Avengers Doomsday. Look hard. So I looked at this for a long time. And whether or not I'm missing something, is it just the fact that this is in the shape of an A? Somebody's sitting in front of it. Is this supposed like? Am I missing something, chat? Do you know what I'm missing here? This was the one that they released for Endgame. I don't know what I'm supposed to be seeing there. Professor X. What, sitting in the chair? Is that what I'm supposed to be seeing? Because it's not a wheelchair. We don't actually know who that is sitting in the chair. Don't know. Think the chair will be CGI'd into a wheelchair? Problem is, it doesn't look like this is like the part of the set that you film on. It looks like behind, like, it looks like the set's on the other side of this wall. Let's see, you got the light shining into that room or whatever that's on the other side of this. I don't know. You could be right. You could be right. But see, that means nothing to me. I can't pick up on what's so cryptic about this. And I don't know where that comes from. Maybe there's some deep lore that somebody else does know. Don't know. B-Man. How you doing, dude? Good to see you. I love B-Man. B-Man and I have got fucking like almost this ongoing joke where like he'll... it's almost like the first one to say hello to one another in a chat somewhere. As soon as I see him, I'm like, I got to now. Because B-Man made a comment once that I never say hi to him or pay attention to him. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. I need a green card. I need to get out of here. I really do. Good day, Scran. Good to see you. So yeah, I don't know what's so cryptic about this. But then there was also this that came out. So Ghost Rider will reportedly cameo in Avengers Doomsday. Now, there's a couple of things about this. First of all, if they're going to do a cameo of Ghost Rider, it better be Nick Cage. Better be Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. But I feel like this is just another thing. You're going to get 30 seconds of Ghost Rider in there. You might get like a little quick action moment scene because it's surrounded by so many other heroes or whatever. It's almost pointless. I don't even care if it's Nick Cage because the story isn't the Ghost Rider story. It's a Doomsday story, but like, look at the size of the cast. Before a Ghost Rider or any of the others, they're already up to 40 people. And are you telling me that we're going to have a Ghost Rider cameo in Cameo the movie? It is literally Cameo the movie. You may as well call it Avengers Cameo. And we're supposed to be surprised or shocked that there's a report or a rumor going around that Ghost Rider is going to make a cameo as well? Come on now. Come on now. Seriously, it fucking annoys the shit out of me. It annoys the shit out of me because any entertainment that I enjoy, and people say, "Oh, go to manga or go to anime." I don't want to have to go that way. It was never my thing. I don't want to have to force myself to watch something that, look, the stories might be good, character work, world building, all of those things might be good. I don't like some animation styles. There is that factor too. I can't read. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to do that. I've never had to do that before. Never had to do that before. Even if in the Star Wars galaxy, there was something that I didn't like a Jar Jar Binks, for example, it didn't completely destroy my enjoyment or my understanding or anything of that world or of that IP. I should have been one of your biggest fans, Marvel, that sat down and watched all your shows and watched all your movies. I am the target demographic, but only to, I don't know, the real people that made these characters, the real people that created these IPs. It's only important to them, not to the people that own it now. And of course, I did hear a little bit about Marvel Zombies. So this has come out. Obviously, this is just a promotional poster for Cap as a zombie. You can do this all day. I've heard some okay things about it. In fact, I've heard more about this than I did about the Wakanda show that they came out with. Apparently, they did another Wakanda Forever show or something animated that just has not hit the zeitgeist at all. At all. So I've heard some okay things about it. I believe Flash has started watching it. I don't think he's finished it yet. But he was saying one of the characters, I don't know if it was Yelena or one of the characters is a little bit fucking annoying. The one that leads the good guys, the heroes in this story. But fuck, man. Like, I don't even care enough to watch Marvel Zombies as like just a side note to the Marvel Universe stuff that they're coming out with. I don't even care to watch it. Does anyone? Like, I mean, in all honesty, is anybody actually excited for Doomsday? Anyone here excited for Doomsday? Cameo the movie with 50 odd cameos. just ready for the audience to sit there and go, oh my God, it's fucking, oh my God, it's fucking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, for the whole fucking movie. It's going to be, oh my God, look who it is. And oh my God, he said the line. That is what this entertainment is designed for. You reckon 100 cameos in 5 minutes? I think that they're going to flood a lot of cameos early on, but scattered throughout, you're going to have cameo after cameo after cameo. I don't disagree that they're going to flood it really quickly with a lot of shit. Just it's the main idea is distraction, right? So we flood it with everything that people will just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's amazing, it's amazing. Completely distracting them from the fact that this show or this movie has no fucking story, has no substance whatsoever. And then just as you're starting to get to a point where you're like, hang on, what the fuck's going on here? They're going to chuck in another cameo. You get your Ghost Rider cameo and it's like, oh my God, oh my God. And then another fucking 20 minutes will go by and you'll start be thinking, hang on, this is actually kind of shit. This is kind of really, really bad. Oh, cameo! We'll give you another cameo just to distract you from how shit it is. That's what this show is going to be. This movie is going to be. And it'll work. It'll work. It'll work. Mark my words, it will work. Not on everyone, but on a lot of people. Yeah. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if, just quickly going back to Star Wars, if Jedi Starfighter, we get a Rey cameo, maybe in an end credit scene or something. Would not surprise me. So, yes. Yes, please do smash the like button. Thank you, B-Man. I'm trying to find entertainment now that I haven't seen that still has any, good development of the world building, characters, all of that shit. All of that shit. So that is Marvel. That's the Marvel news that we've got right now. Now, there was a little bit of Harry Potter news. We got a little bit of Dumbledore, leaked Dumbledore images, which when I go to that image actually looks kind of cool. And even that image looks fine. The Dumbledore stuff, I don't think is the issue when it comes to Harry Potter, is it? I think the issue is the Snape thing. And then I did see this, and I don't know how much truth there is to this. Tilda Swinton, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, is rumored as a top choice to play Lady Voldemort. Now, I don't like this is coming from Daily Harry Potter. I don't know. It's got 333,000 followers. I don't know how much validity there is to this rumor. But there was a rumor going around that they were doing auditions for both male and female characters to be, actors to play Voldemort. That looks like Gollum. Does a little bit, doesn't it? Does a little bit. Are you going to get rid of the nose like fucking Voldemort, isn't supposed to have the nose? I mean, I'm guessing that this is just an AI generated image or something because even if they are just doing this as casting or it's rumored that it's a top choice, like they haven't obviously done anything like this to be able to take a photo of that yet. I don't even know who this person is. And again, it could be one of those situations where oh, this is the chick that plays the fucking thing in Doctor Strange. She's a lesbian, right? She's also in Constantine. I think she's good in Constantine. She plays Gabriel in Constantine, doesn't she? I think as an actor, she's fine. Was she in Game of Thrones or something? Wasn't there something like that she was in? Or The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. I remember that. Michael Clayton. Am I wrong that she was in Game of Thrones? Am I thinking of someone else? Yeah, I'm thinking of the girl that plays Captain Phasma. She's from Game of Thrones, right? But this isn't good. This isn't good for Harry Potter. This isn't good for this series. I mean, the fact alone that they cast a black Snape is not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. No, you're a racist. No, I'm not. I'm a realist. I'm a realist. And the only real reason why they decided to make it black was because they need to push it, which is stupid. Because black characters and white characters and all of these fucking different shapes and colored characters are described in a lot of source material, and you should stick to that source material. It doesn't mean that there haven't been good black characters, good white characters, good Asian characters in other fucking mediums and shows and stuff like that. I think about like Denzel, you know, The Equalizer and fuck man, you name it. Denzel is a great fucking actor, done a lot of shit. Now, under no circumstances do I think that if they were to do a remake of any of Denzel's movies, should they race swap Denzel's character to a white character? I mean, sometimes in the stories, the race is important. Think about Training Day for a second. If you swapped the races over, but kept the characters in the same positions that they were in, it doesn't work, does it? That scene, that King Kong ain't got shit on me, that doesn't work then, does it? There is importance behind it, but there's also importance behind leaving it the way it is and actually having the source material the way it is. Everybody loved it, of all races, colors, creeds, whatever you want to fucking say, loved it for what it was when it was done. So why change it? Because it's important to you, because you see color, you see race, which means you are the racist, not the people that are saying you shouldn't be doing this. Or in this case, you're the sexist. When it's completely unnecessary and changes he who should not be named. Well, just she who should not be named. It's so dumb. So dumb. It's so unnecessary. Is that Rhino after a diet? Yeah. Fuck. I got man, my jeans. I'm skinny as fuck. I'm not unhealthy, but I'm fucking skinny. And I think that that's it when it comes to the Harry Potter stuff. Let's get rid of some of these tabs now. Marvel and Harry. Oh, really? These cats. She's a trans. Oh, shit. Sometimes I wish it was easier for me to put on weight. Oh, that's harsh, man. Holy shit. All right, I'm going to go feed the cat so I don't fucking get Hassaned by you guys. The chat's going to come after me. Fucking start clipping it. Look how fucking evil he is to his cat. Fucking starving it to death. Listen to it complaining in the background. Wouldn't surprise me if he shot collars his cats. Oh my God. It's kind of like a fart when it just creeps out a little bit at the end. Zap the cat. No. All right. I'm going to go feed the cats. We've still got some Netflix stuff to talk about. We've still got Seal of the Week. And I do still want to go through these leaks, which is a 20-minute video. We might have to speed that up. But... oh, B-man. No. No. All right. Let's play a couple of clips here while I feed this guy. Where's Charles? Oh, he's over there. He's over there. He's just asleep in his little thing. That's the thing, though, is like it's so early in regards to feeding them that Charles won't eat. Eric will end up eating it all. And then in like 2 hours, I'll have to feed Charles again, but Eric will eat fucking most of it. Because he's a greedy cunt. You're the most annoying fucking meow. All right, here we go. Well, let's play some clips. We're going to start with Mozza farting again, just because it's always fun. Good laugh. I'll be right back.
Oh, Mozza, read that. So Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mozza.
Question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mozza.
He pushed so far.
That's the type of videos that we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
I gotta pee. Oh my God.
Oh, Charles got up. Hold on. Nearly there. I could just do nap time. That's 2.5 minutes. I'll give you this quickly again. I always like this clip.
I said Lyndon would go to the tree and do some ASMR for you, Lethal. In your honor.
I'm so sorry. He'd be hugging that tree. And then he'd be punching it and slapping it, going, "You took my friend." Kicking it. How dare you?
That would be you, Rhino.
Nah. I'd be there going, "Why? Fuck you, Disney! Why?" All right, nap time, and then I'll be back.
Mom, can I have a popsicle?
No, honey, you'll spoil your...
Hey parents, tired of those out-of-control kids? Throwing embarrassing tantrums wherever they go. At the grocery store, on the playground, even at the dinner table. You've had it with parenting, but wait, there is a solution. Introducing Nap Time, the latest, most effective tool for child tantrum prevention. It's simple. Just douse a rag with our patented Sleepy Time formula, place it over your child's cry hole, press and hold gently for 8 to 12 seconds, and presto, no more tantrum.
I was beginning to think adoption was the only way out. Then a friend of mine introduced me to Nap Time. It's never been so quiet around here.
The secret lies in Naptime's revolutionary fast-to-sleep formula. Developed by military-trained scientist doctors from NASA, Naptime's powerful molecules rush to the child's brain on contact, gently inducing instant tranquility.
This is chloroform.
Already put those wallet-draining crap factories out on the street? That's okay! Naptime works in any situation. On the golf course. An awkward blind date.
I had a really good time tonight.
It even works on pets.
After we had our first child here, we regretted it almost immediately.
We didn't know that she'd cry so much.
Talk about defective. But thanks to Nap Time, our little Samantha here hasn't made a noise in weeks. I keep her in a shoebox.
Call now and we'll send you your very own 24-ounce bottle of Naptime solution for only 23 easy payments of $1.99. But wait, there's more! Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new Dream Sack absolutely free. It's compact and portable for those on-the-go tantrums. Just cover it, tighten it, and forget about it. It's that simple.
We can't breathe good.
So if this looks familiar...
I feel pregnant.
Then don't wait! Order today and join the millions of Americans who just can't stop saying...
Thanks, Nap Time.
Thanks, Nap Time.
Thanks, Nap Time.
Nap Time! When they just won't shut up. Nap Time is not legal in the following states.
There you go. Get your nap time for your kids. Got fucking cat hair on my fucking hat. Got cat hair everywhere. All right, let's talk about Netflix, shall we? So obviously there was this massive cancel Netflix campaign that was going, you could say, mainly led by Elon Musk. And I do feel like Elon, especially after Charlie Kirk's assassination, really set his resolve in regards to wanting to take out the woke mind virus. And this was just one of his little things to try and fucking do that. So let's bring this up. We got a little bit to go through. I've just gone to my bookmarks because it's fucking, there's heaps of shit. So obviously there's the Jurassic World kiss. This is all kids entertainment, guys. So obviously I'm guessing that most of you out there know about this, and most of these shows are no longer in production. However, they are still, like, the episodes or the shows that have already been made are still accessible for the kids out there. And, you know, when I kind of made this point in my video, when you've got G-rated or PG-rated entertainment, more often than not, a parent could go, yep, sit down, watch this, and, you know, leave their kids to watch it. But, like, when you get something that's, let's say, M-rated, MA-rated, R-rated, you know, you're not going to let your kids watch that. But I would argue that the stuff that's being forced into and the propaganda that's being put into kids' entertainment makes it less G or less even parental guidance. Because it's like that situation. Who was it that said Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg with the Lightyear fucking comment, right? And the lesbians' mums or whatever, and his grandkid. Mate, I've seen that situation with my own eyes. I was at the theater. I was with a mate of mine, his missus, and their kid. Right? Well, it's her kid. They've had another kid together since. But we were sitting in the theater. We were watching Captain Marvel. And the cockpit scene came up. You know why they call it a cockpit, don't you? Well, their little, well, how old would she have been? 7, 8, maybe 6, 7, somewhere around there. Turns to her mum, and I can hear. Turns to her mum and goes, "Why do they call it a cockpit?" Like, as a parent, even under parental guidance, how do you answer that? Because that's not why they call it a cockpit, but the way that they're implying why it's called a cockpit is because dudes have cocks and men are the patriarchy. That's the way the message was thrown out in the movie. Maybe even a little bit older. I think maybe a little bit older than 6, 7, 8. So it's things like that it's completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I've seen it and I've now heard that with my own eyes and seen it with my own ears. Seen it with my own eyes and heard it with my own ears. Right? How many others out there had to go through an awkward situation like that with their kids because the entertainment that they watched? Try explaining these things to your kids when they're, well, this is the thing. We don't even need to explain it to our kids anymore because they're being taught this in school as normal. When kids are kids, they don't know anything. Their brains, as everyone says, their brains are sponges. They absorb information and that becomes truth and real to them, right? So the more this gets thrown in, the more brainwashing they can do. The more it's okay, the less questions they'll ask when they finally do get into school, if they're not already in school being taught this stuff anyway. So there was the, I don't even know if I've got audio. Hold on, I'm probably going to have to reshare this because I don't even have my headphones plugged in. Hold on. So I remember when this first hit, and I remember first seeing this and talking about it and saying it like it's not good that this is, being put in there. It is propaganda, and it's, you sit down and you see a Transformers animated show and you think, oh, I used to watch Transformers as a kid. There was nothing fucking wrong with it back then. You chuck it on, and this is what your kids get to watch, possibly without you in the room, for ages around 7.
It's hard to know who's dangerous or not.
That's true, though disappointing.
Hey, it's okay. I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or other non-binary people.
Non-binary?
People who aren't female or male. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed.
I always knew my pronouns felt right, but what a wonderful word for a wonderful experience.
It's a fucking robot, man. It's a fucking robot.
Morning. Can you switch,
Nightshade's pronouns are they, them.
He or she just doesn't fit who I am. My apologies. Please switch their piece. Now, the plan.
Look, I don't have kids myself, but I certainly would not be comfortable letting my kids watch any of this stuff without my guidance or even presence. Like I wouldn't even let my kids watch this even in my presence. That's the problem, though, is that all kids' entertainment, it's almost designed. This is almost designed to make them grow up angry and uncomfortable. Whereas you think about cartoons and stuff, the Saturday morning cartoons and everything that we watched in the 90s, the late 80s for me, there was a lot of positivity. It was a lot of fun, but there was never really like a massive amount of, let's say, real world propaganda. I think the biggest thing that I ever watched as a kid with pretty much sort of real world propaganda might have been Captain Planet. But like, before we move past this clip, this is like, so we're going to get to like this really young stuff, but like it just goes to show the progression of your kids and how they grow up, and then the entertainment that they shift to, they're pushing it all the way through that, right? So you got to think, okay, what I'm about to show you here, this isn't necessarily for 7-year-olds. I say that this is more so for, let's say, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe even 13-year-olds. So this is after they get past that, let's say, 4 to 7-year-old garbage.
Wow, this is for me. I know, right? The school totally customizes our rooms for us. It's so cozy. I'm Frankie. Pronouns they, them. I'm only 15 days old. Hi, Claudine. She, her. Nice to meet ya. My full name is Frankie Stein. I was just created by my parents, but not in the way that others.
We don't even need to continue watching that. Just the introduction with the pronouns is enough. Captain Planet, really? The power is yours, Rhino. Yeah, maybe. I was always like, who didn't want fire? The power of heart? That's cool. So cringe. Oh, you're talking about this being cringe. Man, for a second then, because we're talking about the Captain Planet stuff, I'm like, Captain Planet? I liked Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. He's our powers magnified, and he's fighting on the planet side. Man, Captain Planet. The power is yours. Sounds gay now. But like, if I had kids, I'd actually give them the stuff that I watched as a kid to watch. There's no way in hell, there is no way that I would actually give them anything to watch that was made in like the last 15 years. For the risk, there might not be anything in it. There might not be, like, you go back to something that was made even, let's say, 15 years ago to the day, right? Some kids thing that was made 15 years ago to the day. There might not be anything in it, anything bad, any propaganda, any of the messaging or anything like that. But I just can't trust it. You can't trust it. You look how much stuff there actually is.
101.
Let's do it.
Frightfall 101.
What does this have to do with Frightfall?
Hello. Frightfall, costumes, dressing up, and your look doesn't need to be scary. See? Honey, be lightly stressed for my fave movie.
It's supposed to be, that's supposed to be a boy, showing boys how they're supposed to act. Real feminine-like.
Everything okay, Fred? Well, the last time I saw my grandma, I used a different name and pronouns. That was before I discovered that Fred feels more like me.
You're a fucking cow or some kind of animal. When I saw my grandma last, I used a different pronoun. I don't know how she's going to react.
Not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Pugsley reminds.
Oh, Rocco's Modern Life? Dude. I don't need to look up Rocco's Modern Life to know what the fuck that is. Fucking great.
Reminded me how important it is to
Ren and Stimpy?
live your life without apology. So I think I gotta give living.
I don't even know if there's any more to that, but yeah, another trans fucking person.
Something that we know about you. You love to get up and dance. How about you break out those moves?
So because this little boy loves to get up and dance, it must mean that he's a little girl, right? Dude, I am unashamed to say that I used to love. I still like dancing. When I go to a wedding or something like that, I love busting up the dance floor. Sometimes I act stupid and funny. Sometimes I actually like to, break down and fucking actually dance like I'm dancing and enjoying myself. But that wasn't just something that happened in my old age. I used to like dancing as a kid. Fucking Michael Jackson was a massive inspiration. Man, I couldn't imagine what that part of my childhood would be like if I had woke parents. Crazy. But this is what it means these days. Two dads. Oh, make sure you put your tutu on in your fucking, what are they called? The crown thing, whatever it is. Little boy. If you're not sure what to choose. And this is where, we're gonna put it into a nice kids song in regards to you're all confused and you don't know what to do. You can be whatever you want to be, even if you're a boy and want to be a girl. I don't know. That's what kids entertainment is now. Think about all the things you like to do. Just be you.
Just be me?
Yep. When you're trying to decide, think about all the things you like to do. Just be you.
Just be me.
We talked about that. That's all the clips I've got. So, yeah, look, I don't disagree with the fact that Elon Musk is trying to fight this fight and try to go up against Netflix and try to cancel Netflix and, get people to cancel their Netflix. Now, yes, they did lose, $15 to $20 billion due to this little spurt of cancel your Netflix and stuff like that. But did it really do anything? In the last day, the trend is pretty good. In the last 5 days, the trend is pretty good. In the last month, bad trend. But this is where your dip's been from the whole, I think it only started around here. So you dipped there. I don't even think it was all the way back here. September 9th. It's a whole month ago. Didn't start a month ago, did it? Maybe it did. Let's say it did. Let's say it is from back here. 6 months? Huh. If we're talking that being the dip, it didn't even touch them. It didn't even touch them year to date. Didn't even touch them. It was that they basically hit the same point that they were at in August of that same year. Not even. It didn't even get that low. Their lowest point. 147. 153. It didn't hurt him at all. It did not hurt him at all. Now, whether or not the intention is to hurt them, can we get Netflix completely cancelled? I don't think that that's even possible. Don't even think that that's possible. But what should be possible is the ability to get these things removed. Parents should be outraged, especially if their kids have watched these things without their knowing that this is the shit that they're being shown. Unless they're woke parents. I mean, we've all seen them. We've seen clips of these abusive parents that, I saw a clip the other day. Oh, when do you think kids can identify as trans? And the mum said, oh, our little one thought that they were the opposite sex at the age 1.5. It's like, that is abuse. That is child abuse to the max. Because that's not the kid. That's the kid doesn't, no kid thinks that way at all. Apparently there was the Californian, or the person running for the California governor right now was doing an interview and said, oh, my 12-year-old jumped in my car after water polo. I was watching Drunk 3PO's stream last night, and he was talking about this or showing this. And apparently she picks up her 12-year-old from water polo, and she gets in the car and she's all sad and crying and stuff. And she's like, what's wrong? And she's like, Donald Trump's about to be elected. And if I get raped, which means I'll probably get raped and I won't be able to get an abortion. A 12-year-old said that to you, did they? After their day of water polo. When you were picking them up from water polo, that's what they were thinking about. The fact that Donald Trump is about to be elected and that you're going to get raped because Donald Trump's elected. And the result of that is going to be that you're going to be pregnant. And the result of that is that then you're not going to be able to get an abortion. That's what you're fucking worried about. That's what your 12-year-old is worried about. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's a lie. And if it's not a lie, then it's abuse. As far as I'm concerned. And that's exactly what all of this stuff is. It's grooming. It's abuse. It's indoctrination of kids into a woke culture that is based on lies, deceit, and evil. I don't give a fuck anymore. People can start calling me transphobic, homophobic. I don't give a fuck. I'm done not speaking truth to error anymore. Just because I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to be tolerant. Fuck off. Netflix, you need to get this stuff off your fucking platform. And I know that and even if you remove it, it's not going to affect your stock. It's not going to affect your shares. The woke mob might come after you and say, how dare you take down this stuff? But that means that you're doing the right thing because the devil in them is angry about it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'd love to be married. I'd love to have kids. I'd love to have a family, right? But I also can't think of anything worse than trying to raise kids in this current environment that we live in. It's got to be one of the hardest things to navigate because it's so hard to unplug people now. You know, I put up an Instagram reel. Let me see if I've still got it, and I'll show it if I do. This was really interesting to me. G'day, Debbie. Really interesting to me and almost heartbreaking.
People. If you were born in the 80s or 90s, you grew up in a world that doesn't exist anymore. You remember when friendship meant knocking on someone's door, not sending a text. When Saturday mornings were made for cartoons, not scrolling feeds. When happiness came from mixtapes, bike rides, and streetlights telling you it was time to go home. But here's what makes your generation different. You were the bridge. The last to know life without technology, and the first to grow up adapting to it.
It's hard.
You lived through payphones and dial-up, and then watched the world transform into something faster, louder, and harder to escape.
Yep.
And maybe that's why people born in the 80s and 90s carry a certain ache, a nostalgia for simplicity, a quiet wish that joy could still feel as easy as it once did. If that feels like you, it's because you carry two worlds inside you.
So true. So true. I don't know if there's any people that, let's say between the ages of 30 and 40. I'm 41, but you know what I mean. Those 80s, 90s kids. I don't know if you feel it, but I certainly feel it. There is an ache of what's happened. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it is just me. I mean, I don't think somebody would make a video like that doesn't think that way. So it can't just be me, but like, dude. What? You saw Anna blackface? No. She did blackface. I turned 38 on the weekend. Well, happy birthday, Salshade. There you go. Yeah, see? 42. Not just you. That rhymes. I'm a 90s kid and I feel old. It is, though. Like, the world has sped up. Think about this for a second. Think about everything that's happened in the last 3 weeks. Think about everything that's happened in the last 3 weeks. And now think that 3 weeks ago, Charlie Kirk got assassinated. How much information, how much stuff has changed, and how much the narrative has changed, and how much has happened since that incident? How fast did it move? How far? It didn't even have time to rest. Didn't even have time to rest. Jimmy Kimmel made sure of that, and all his overlords, the devil who overwatches that side of everything, made sure that there was no rest. There was no calm in the sea. Joy used to be simple. Now you got to try and fucking find joy. Painful, man. It's painful. Especially, like I said, like being that, it's true what he said in that video. We are a bridge. We're so used to, and we grew up in a time where technology wasn't even really a thing. Yeah, we came into the dial-up internet era, right? And obviously that evolved very quickly and everything just sped up from there. But, you know, I still think about my childhood and, man, Mum, can we go out and ride our bikes? Yeah, go. Fucking come back when, whatever. We'd ride we'd get up in the morning, we'd go and ride our bikes, play cars. Like, we lived in a court, so we had all these friends in the court. We'd go and knock on doors, exactly what it said. Oh, can Michael come out and play? Can Fidel come out and play? These were all my friends in my court, right? Can Chris come out and play? Yep, they all come out, grab their bikes. We start playing cars around the court and stuff. And then at the end of the court, there was this massive hill that went up to where this oval was. It was just a cricket oval, but there were these parts where you could ride your bikes and it does this massive dip and you go back up and there were these trails that ended up being made and stuff like that. Man, kids don't grow up like that anymore. Not even close. And it's actually kind of a sad thing. They don't know how to build relationships. They can't look people in the eyes because they don't know how to. They've never had to do it. They've had to look at a phone. They don't even look at themselves in the mirror. It's a scary fucking thing. And this is where the propaganda stuff, like with the Netflix thing, for example, works. Because the parents are so distracted now by everything that they have to distract their kids instead of, let's say, and I'm not like, it is a worldwide problem, I feel. Because even if, let's say, one parent out there said, okay, I'm going to start having a family and I'm not going to just give my kid the tablet or the phone to distract them. We're going to solve problems and we're going to get them active and we're going to allow them to go out and play. They're still going to have time to sit down and play games on their tablet or watch something or whatever the case may be. But we're going to try and enforce a bit of more of a normal or an old school type of thing. Well, as soon as you do that with one kid, who's that kid going to go out and play with? Who's that kid going to go out and play with? Him fucking self or herself. because all the other kids are going to be in their houses where the parents just give them the tablet, give them the phone, and say, here, watch this. I need to go and fucking finish cooking dinner, or I need to go and fucking do some work. So I feel like it is a parent issue, but I also like it's a culture thing. It's how everything has now moved towards this kind of lifestyle. Scary and dangerous. Because that's when you get to people that sit there and say, oh, this person's a Nazi. And they truly believe it. They really believe it. Makes it okay for them to go out and firebomb and kill and everything else. Anyway, so Netflix has recovered. Netflix did nothing. That's where that title comes from. They recovered. To be honest with you, they didn't even really fucking drop. Recovered from what? A little dip. It wasn't even the biggest one for the year. Wasn't even the biggest dip for the year. Shame. It's a shame. I swear sometimes we think we have more control than we actually do. More power than we actually do. And you know a good example of that, I don't mean to necessarily get into the politics and stuff of some of the shit that's happening around the world and make it and really put a lull on anything. But, you know, the digital ID thing that's coming in at the UK, there was a petition that's got 3 million signatures on it saying that we don't want this and we're not doing this. 3 million. Now, yeah, out of a population of what, 60 odd million people? I don't even know. A lot of people. What's the population of the UK? It could even be UK population. 69 million. So I wasn't far off. So in a population of, let's say, 70 million people, 3 million signatures, you would say isn't a lot, but it's actually a fucking lot. And then you think about the people that haven't signed it that still think the same way. But guess what? That means nothing. They're still pushing forward. They've already said, they're just the bigoted people. There's 3 million out of 69 million people. So they believe that the other 66 million people are all on board. And they believe that because of what happened during COVID. They believe that if they threaten your job or you threaten your work or whatever, you'll just succumb and give in. And the thing that scares me is that I believe him. I believe the sheep are just going to do it. The scary thing for me is I'm going to be the outlier. I'm not doing it, just like I didn't with the COVID vaccine. And the thing that scares me is that I nearly lost my house during the COVID stuff. I nearly lost everything in that time. Very, very close to losing absolutely everything. And if they bring that in here, which as of December this year in Australia, we're getting fucking, it's coming. It's coming. I was talking to a mate today about it. I'm like, did you hear about the thing that's happening in the UK? No. Do you know that in December, we're going to have to show and give digital ID to be able to access YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all these things? No. How can you not know? How can you not know? He had no idea. I'm explaining it to him and he's like, what? Really? I'm like, did you know that there were 12,000 people in the last year arrested in the UK for social media posts? No. What rock are you living under? That's one person. There's millions of people that have no idea. And this is what I'm talking about in regards to, we think that, now I don't think anything in regards to myself. What? I got 34 people watching. In the population of the world, it's almost a negative percentile. Let's be real. But I tell you what, even when I'm sitting here going, fuck, I think Elon Musk has a lot of pull, has a lot of play, has a lot of power and all of this kind of thing. He's the one that basically led the charge in the cancel Netflix thing, and it didn't even touch him. Didn't even touch him. Did anything change? Did they remove that programming? No. It's all right. It'll still steadily keep going up. Man, I should have bought some Netflix shares when it dipped. Maybe that was Elon's plan. Did you invest in Netflix after you pushed this whole cancellation thing? Curious. We think that we're pushing change, and sometimes I can't help but think, are we? Are we? 3 million signatures on a petition to say we're not doing digital ID. We refuse. We don't want it. Stop it. Stop doing what you're doing. Stop being a tyrannical government. Nah, fuck you, 3 million British citizens. Fuck you. We're going to move forward. We're going to do this. They've made it very clear. And we're not far behind fucking the UK. We are not here in Australia. Fucking pisses me off, man. Because it just, the sheep are just going to do what the sheep do. Oh, I need to be able to watch my Netflix. I can't give my kid this thing that they're obsessed with on Netflix unless I give my digital ID. My kid's chucking a tanty because fucking they can't watch their favorite Netflix show, or they're fucking this or they're that because I haven't got my digital ID. Shit. Oh, well, I better just do it so that I can set my kid at ease. That's what's wait, and they're doing it in December, Christmas time. Christmas time. What a great time to do it. It's the perfect time for the government to do it for us here in Australia. It's the holidays. People are always on their Instagrams, or they're posting photos of the holidays that they're on, or they're fucking posting something on Twitter or Facebook, putting up their pictures, sharing all their Christmas photos, all the presents that they got. Getting their Christmas carols from YouTube while they're having their Christmas dinners or Christmas lunches. You better have your digital ID ready, or else you're not going to get any access to any of those platforms during the holidays. It is so planned out and it's so predictable. And my eyes are so open to it that it's almost like I can predict what's going to happen. It's that obvious. It's that fucking obvious. Sorry, I've gone off on a fucking tangent because fucking the world's gone to shit. And I'm not blackpilling at all. But fuck, man. Dude, something's got to change. Something's got to change. It's like that scene from Bug's Life or Ants or whatever. Yeah, one ant stands up to you. Big fucking deal. All of them? Good luck. But I don't feel like all of them. There's certainly no unitedness in our country. From what I'm seeing, they're not united in fucking America. And from what I'm seeing, they're certainly not united in the UK. Good luck to us all. Good luck. I pray for the world to wake up and just not comply for once. If people haven't learned their lesson from COVID, then we're never going to learn. Never. That's a scary thought when you think it through to conclusion. Really scary thought when you think it through to conclusion. Fuck. I can guarantee you, digital ID comes in, your digital currency, and all of the stuff. I will either be homeless, in jail, or dead in 5 years' time. Guaranteed. Homeless, living on the streets, a bum, in jail, or dead. because I am not bending the knee to this shit. Actually, in the last 3 weeks since Charlie Kirk, there's only one being that I bend my knee to. And he lives up there. Seal of the week. Let's do Seal of the week. We've only got 2 nominees, so it's going to be an easy one. And then we'll watch some of these Ahsoka leaks. So we'll see how much of that we'll get through. Here we go.
I'm all the Jedi.
It's so funny. My headphones are actually plugged in. So like the audio of that wasn't coming through the speakers. So it was really quiet. I could still hear it, but it was just there. And I'm not saying anything, obviously, while it's going. One of the cats is snoring right now. I don't know which one it is, and you wouldn't be able to hear it, but it's kind of funny. All right. So nominee for the 2 nominees for this week. The first one is Jacob. So this is obviously in response to the Amy Adams announcement of being a Jedi in the Star Wars Starfighter show, movie, whatever it is. Oh, God. And he says, can you imagine how the internet would react if someone in the movie asks her name and she says back, Mara? Well, yeah, okay. Jacob, you're one of those people that, like, would be interesting to see how you would react to Star Wars if it did actually course correct. It would be interesting to see how you would react if Star Wars actually started to become more like Star Wars. Nominee number 2, and the only other nominee that we've got for this week, is from Star Wars Academy, saying Ahsoka was one of the best Star Wars stories we received, and in my opinion, it was beautiful from the beginning to the end. From beginning to the end, of the first season. I loved every surprise this series gave us, even when the Force just comes out of Sabine all of a sudden. You like that surprise? And every story development surely leading towards an exciting second season. These people don't even know what they're actually saying or what they're actually even really sort of asking for. Like, if you were happy by the surprise of Sabine all of a sudden being able to use the Force and push Ezra across and all of that sort of thing, if you thought that was awesome and you thought that was really good, I'm sorry, I don't know how else to say this. You're not a Star Wars fan. You don't understand. And I'm not saying that I've got complete and utter understanding of it, but I've got enough understanding of it to know that that's incorrect. And that's it, really. It's fucking incorrect. I don't know how else to say it. Let's do the poll, shall we? Let's do the poll. Should be an easy one. Although they are both 1 and 2. They are both worthy. Get rid of some of these tabs as well. All right. Do you guys actually have audio? Let's just reshare it just in case. All right. I first of all want to just say this. I really don't want to watch this, but it's the only place that I can find where there's any sort of leaks, which tells you something in itself. These leaks are coming from Josh from Den of Shills, Den of Nerds. He announced it on Nerd Theory, which they brought back. I don't know why Star Wars Theory is still working with this guy. It's almost like to me, it's a little bit like the Gary Nerdrotic and Doomcock thing. You just need to get rid of this idiot, just like Gary got rid of the idiot Doomcock. But even Star Wars Theory, I have issues with Star Wars Theory and the way he thinks and talks about Disney, Star Wars, and that sort of thing. Disney approved leaks. What, do you really think that he's got like a connection to somebody at Disney that is actually giving him leaks that he can actually publicize? Very funny. How you doing, Blake? 17,000 views, hey? 700 likes, 8 dislikes. Let's see.
Let's roll.
Okay, so
Cool.
this one's actually very cool. All
right.
And so I was told this, man, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday of last week. And this is like a really reliable source, probably one of my best sources. Just spot on this person. They hit me up like Thursday or something, and they said a really big fight was just filmed. A huge fight sequence was filmed on Ahsoka with Baylan Skoll.
I know.
And Anakin Skywalker.
Yep.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
I know, brother.
So what do you think about that?
Well, be careful what I.
So apparently he's been told that too. He knows that too. He's saying he knows that's been a thing. This is the thing. Is this actually supposed to hype us? Because to me, that just like, I don't know. Man, do we even really care? I don't even want to watch this video.
I know this from obviously a very reliable source. A lot of you might know who, but
I can say some stuff, and maybe you can just say what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look, the idea.
Well, okay, this is the thing that I don't understand. Either you've got your source in there and they're reporting to you so that you can report this, or so what the point, the thing that I'm trying to figure out here is, why are they sitting here deciding what they can and can't say from the leaks or the source that they've had? Why is the source even telling you?
Of Anakin fighting Baylan, right? Like, there's a lot of inherent interesting things about this.
No, I don't think there's any inherent interesting things about that at all. At all. At all.
Anakin did not really fight in Ahsoka season 1. He technically fights against Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds.
Yeah,
but he never like met.
Which again, like this is where Ahsoka is such a mess. Like we don't even know how she got into the world between worlds. Yeah, she fell into the water or whatever, and apparently that gave her access into the world between worlds, and she was okay the entire time. Her body was still underwater or something. She was teleported. Nobody knows. Nobody has any answers for any of that. I mean, when we first actually introduced the world between worlds in the Rebels series, fucking Ezra had to fucking break an entire fucking code on a mural to be able to get access into the world between worlds. It's just like, just initially, before we even get to see Anakin and him fight Ahsoka in the world between worlds or any of that stuff, or teach her lessons that are stupid. Like, you know, if you feel like you need to stop fighting, maybe you should just keep fighting. I don't know. I think that was what the message was. Or if you don't continue fighting, you'll die.
Manifest physically, right?
Right.
Well, the only way you can manifest physically is if it's actually Vader, because Vader is still around during this timeline. Am I wrong? No. Oh man, I can't even fucking remember. I don't even care.
So one of two ways this is going. This is either going, Balin is in the world between worlds fighting against Anakin, right? Or Anakin.
So, okay, we talked about the premise of where this could take place, how and why. Let's see if they get into any of that. Like, how is Balin going to get into the world between worlds? And what is his connection going to be to Anakin to actually have a meaningful fight in the world between worlds?
Anakin is somehow fighting against Balin in the real world. Let's start there. Which one do you think it is?
Real world.
Yeah, I think so too. So,
but then it can't be Anakin. It's got to be Vader.
Real world Force Ghost Anakin.
What?
Yeah, but it's in like a.
When does I gotta check something? I'm sorry. Ahsoka timeline. $11 years after A New Hope, 10 to 15 years after Star Wars Rebels, 5 BBY, 1 the Rebels, when that takes place, is 5 BBY, 1 BBY to 1 BBY. And over 30 years since the events of the Clone Wars. So these guys are morons. These guys are morons.
Place of where Balin goes, and Anakin has like evolved into sort of like the father figure.
Yeah.
And so he basically.
What? Anakin is fucking dead. Anakin is a Force ghost.
Has is the word omnipotence?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, basically he's like a god.
Mm-hmm.
And there are obviously rules that he has to, follow in terms of, what is allowed with the Force and what's not. But he can essentially now, like, yeah, bro's not really dead.
Yeah. So, I mean,
this is what I don't know, though. Is he saying that as a good thing or a bad thing? I think he truly believes that it's a good thing, but I don't know about theory anymore.
The first thing that I think of when we get into this discussion is like, if you take a step back and just think about literally what we were talking about just 5 minutes ago with like Rey and the sequels and how bad they fucked everything up and how fucking mad we are. And then we get into this discussion, right? And we're talking about Filoni.
Yeah.
And he's literally cooking some crazy ass shit where the Chosen One has somehow attained a level of power that's going to allow him to have a physical fight against Balin.
Right.
My brain hurts. Filoni's cooking up epic fucking sizzle reel shit.
And it's like one of these things is incredible. One of these things sucks doo-doo. How is this not obvious to everybody? Like, how is this not?
What do you think about this? First of all, let me ask you. What do you think?
Well, I think it's awesome. I mean, I think there's
I knew it. Or
lines
based on
look,
based on Theory's reaction there, that makes me think that he doesn't think that it's necessarily awesome. He was always going to come out and say it's awesome. Everything is awesome when you're part of Dave Filoni's verse.
Here's the truth. It makes me a little uncomfortable, right? Because The Chosen One is such sacred material, and it's like, oh man, whatever you do with
No, it's
this,
not. They've already fucked The Chosen One with the sequels.
it's going to impact all of Star Wars in a very serious way, right? So
No, it's
it gets
not.
a little, you have to be careful with it. But that's why it's awesome. And the thing that I think, one of the things I really like about Dave, and one of the things I think is like an understated quality of Dave and George's relationship, is that, so like when Maul came back in Clone Wars, George just fucking throws that at Dave, like randomly in a meeting. And is like, Maul's coming back. And Dave's like, like, how? And George literally says, like, you'll figure it out. And I've heard Dave talk about this before, where like the idea is be great and go for it and be bold and be great and be bold now. And don't think like, oh, wow.
Was that George's decision or was that Filoni's decision? Because I remember seeing a clip of Filoni saying how he's not going to put certain things in when he goes to show George because George won't want to put it in and then he'll put it in after.
I don't know that would be good. I don't know that we can pull that off, or I don't know that's something you want to do. Instead, if you're compelled, if you're drawn to something, if you want to be bold in your writing, go for it. And so to me, although there's obviously a lot that you can be concerned about, I get very excited that they're gonna go for it with Anakin. So that's like my base thoughts. What about you?
My thoughts are, you can do that so long as you don't show them actually dying and fading away or becoming a forced ghost. Because once you do that, you completely eliminate the tension of life and death. Well, if you have immortality, who really cares? There's no actual fear.
But see,
of
this
anything.
Is the thing, Theory, is that the people that are making this don't actually understand how one becomes one with the Force and becomes a Force ghost. So, in their eyes, everyone becomes a Force ghost. Ben Skywalker became a Force ghost. Leia became a Force ghost. Or not necessarily became a Force ghost. We haven't seen them as ghosts, but they become one with the Force, which is a very hard thing to achieve. It's not easy. That's why Qui-Gon was the first one to do it. Not to the full extent of its ability until they fucking retcon that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. But the next person to learn that from Qui-Gon was Yoda. And Obi-Wan, essentially. Qui-Gon was teaching both of them. And then just before Anakin died, when he redeems himself, fucking Obi-Wan appears to him, or at least speaks to him, and says that we need to be fast. We've got very limited time. And helps him learn the remaining lessons and put Anakin at peace so that he can become one with the Force and become a Force ghost. But there's no understanding of any of that.
Right?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Like, rematerialize, like, well, where's the actual tension of, oh, shit, okay, well, he's going to die. Well, it doesn't, no big deal.
Who's going to die?
Okay.
Balin's going to die? Okay. They wrote him out because he fucking, Ray Stevenson died in real life.
Right? That maybe works in Dragon Ball, but even then there's a process.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to find the Dragon Balls. Oh shit, we can't because of this, that, and the other thing. Fucking Dende is gone, or whatever.
Stakes. Yeah.
Right. But this just kind of it legitimizes the importance of being alive and winning, right? So, you know, with Maul, yeah, okay, it works because we didn't really see him fully die. He was still kind of alive when he was being chopped in half, and we've seen deaths like that.
Yeah, he got chopped in half, but we didn't see him die. What the fuck, man? The fuck? And they'll make the same justification for Mace Windu. He got his arm chopped off and got hit with unlimited power in the form of a fucking force storm and thrown out the window. But we didn't see him die.
That happened in Star Wars. And we know that if you're in the dark side, it actually makes you stronger when you are in severe pain. Unless your head is chopped off, then okay, it's not really going to make sense. But
yeah.
So in Star Wars now, unless your head is chopped off, you might not be dead. It's like this is just extra justification for like Sabine's stabbing, right, and surviving, and everybody else. Reva, she got ran through twice by Vader. Once in the temple when she was young and she survived. And again when she fucking was older and still survived. She made an entire trip to Tatooine and then decided not to kill Luke. I don't even know how she understood the connection between them. I don't even know how she understands the connection that Anakin is Vader. Because that was kept a complete secret. Palpatine reported that Anakin died a hero of the Republic, killing Jedi and got taken out.
You know, we have seen humans obviously survive with just their torso.
Yeah, I went to college with a guy like that.
Right.
It was wild. He was a wrestler, and yeah.
So it's not out of the realm of norms, especially in some fictional universe of Star Wars where you have the Force.
So Josh has met somebody that doesn't have a bottom half of their body. From like the waist? Or are you talking just the legs?
You have the dark side and all this and that, and then you got insane technology to turn yourself into a spider, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So there's that. But Anakin coming back into the flesh or whatever, and even if he does it in the World Between Worlds, I don't know. I'm not a fan of World Between Worlds, I'll say that. Sure. I think it really also denounces the whole sort of romance of being alive. You know, it's like, if there's no difference between life and death, you can go through doors and save people or whatever, then what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think that's an obvious consideration, and I think whenever
you still love
whenever character death and a character coming back gets brought up, this conversation always happens, and I think that there's a lot of ways to look at it, right?
Right.
So this is the problem with having some characters die, or at least having the perception that they got defeated and they're dead, like your Mauls, and then bringing them back. That's the problem. Because then it sets a justification for every other being to come back. When somebody gets chopped in half with a lightsaber, then being ran through and stabbed with a lightsaber is fine because it missed all the main organs, right? Because it works more like a blade than it does like a heated piece of fucking plasma, a heated rod of plasma. They don't think that when it runs through or even just moves slightly in you, it's not going to fucking keep burning through or slice through and heat up and boil the blood and kill the organs that are around it or anything like that. This is where Disney Star Wars and Star Wars are completely separate. And these guys can love this shit all they like. And they can think that this leak is good. I don't know how Star Wars Theory's thinking about this. I fear for him a little bit in the fact that, you know, his entire brand and everything that he does and the sabers and stuff like this that he actually does, I don't like fuck where they're being made and all of this kind of stuff and how expensive or how cheap or whatever they are. Like, yeah, people care about that. I don't give two shits right now. What I care about is the fact that, dude, the IP that you are basing all the products and everything that you sell based on, you know, what you do is being destroyed. And until it's kind of like with what's happening in the real world, until you stand up and say, no, this is just blatant shit. Dave Filoni is a fucking hack and Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, well, then they're just going to continue. And I don't even think you saying that is going to stop them from continuing. Don't get me wrong, because there's been plenty of people out there that have been saying it. But until everybody stands up and says, no, this is fucking garbage, then nothing's going to change. We'll see what happens after Mandalorian and Grogu and Ahsoka season 2.
I totally understand the idea of it cheapening things and cheapening stakes. And I think there's a way you can do it where it's like, yeah, this is so silly. Like there's no stakes and, the characters' deaths are meaningless and all.
There's a way that you can do it where it's so silly and there's no stakes and all of this kind of thing. And the way that they've done it is exactly that way. But you don't think that's the case, do you?
That sort of stuff, right? But I think there's also ways, and there's examples of incredible writers that have used a character's resurrection in a way that has become incredibly meaningful. So like Gandalf comes to mind, right? Like Tolkien bringing Gandalf back feels a little cheap. And yet within the context of like...
What? Did I just hear what I thought I heard? Like that's that's so different. It's a different universe. You're talking about the laws of that universe, dude. You're talking about, like, you can't equate the laws of the fucking Lord of the Rings universe, Tolkien's universe, and you can't do that. Oh, the way that they've done resurrections in other IPs. Yes, because it allows for that. The law within, or the canon within that universe allows for that. This doesn't allow, Star Wars doesn't allow for that. Theory, I'm not a big fan of WBW. Also, theory, on the Ahsoka WBW episode, it's the best Star Wars, this World Between Worlds, by the way, it's the best Star Wars we've gotten since George Lucas. That's true. That's very true. He says here that he's not a fan of the World Between Worlds and everything, but yet in the episode in Ahsoka, it was the best episode. And if you don't think that this is Star Wars, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You don't want good Star Wars. Thank you, SWA. Yeah, bring up Harry Potter next, Josh. Yeah, that's right. It allows for it. It builds to it. Some things even just build to, let's say, a resurrection or a reincarnation or something when those things happen. But it's established within the universe. It's allowed within the law. This isn't.
The lore that he is building, it is basically just the light side coming back to like give a little bit of aid in a dark time period. And you still don't necessarily know that the light side's going to win. So it's not like he comes back and kills the story, right? So, but yeah, it's fair what you're saying.
I feel like the Gandalf thing in Lord of the Rings is a little different, and
100%.
I want to see some arguments in the chat against this, because I could even play devil's advocate in my own mind. But I feel like magic is just so different than the Force. Like there are rules in the Force that you die, you can die, right? But with
also, isn't Gandalf essentially actually like an angel? Aren't wizards in the yeah, there's more to it.
It's totally like you can't see if a Jedi were to rematerialize Maul's legs, let's say, if they were to do that with, I don't know, Anakin's, like imagine Anakin loses his hand and Yoda comes in and is just like bobbity boobity and his hand just like with blue smoke instead of green or some shit. Sure, what the fuck is this? Magic, you have a bigger suspension of disbelief because you don't have to explain it. It's fucking magic. That's what it is. Okay, that's fine. But with a Force user, I mean, what you can't really do that.
Well, it's funny you say. Well, it's funny.
Yeah, but it's also funny that you say that because you were all like laughing and smiling and happy when they actually made Qui-Gon appear at the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And that is basically exactly what you just described there about them, like, Yoda going and making the arm reappear, like recreating the arm. It's the same thing when it comes to Qui-Gon appearing at the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's lore destructing. It's lore destroying. Destructing.
You say that because, like, so, do you know who Brandon Sanderson is?
No.
He's an author. He did a lot of he wrote a bunch of books. He's an
He
incredible
is
author. He just
actually.
podcast too. We love Sanderson in this house. Okay, over here, right?
Okay.
Anyway, the point is he talks about a lot of this stuff, and he actually has courses online because he teaches at a university about world building and storytelling and writing novels. And so he's broken some of these ideas down to like their fundamental level. And what you're really talking about is like a magic system. And the truth is the system needs to be consistent. As long as there's logic and consistency to it, then that's fine enough for the reader to be able to make sense of it, right? But there are magic systems that essentially allow somewhat unlimited possibilities, but it's all about how do you use it in the story.
I don't even really, to be completely honest with you, I don't even really care about their explanations or what they think about it. I'm more interested in the fact that, okay, both of these guys have heard from their credible sources that that Anakin and Baylan Skoll are going to have a lightsaber duel or a fight. Whether or not they do that in the real world, whether or not they do that in the world between worlds, or no matter how they actually do it, I can't think of a good way of doing it. But no matter how they actually do it, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for lore. It's gonna be bad for canon, and it's gonna be bad for continuity. It's gonna be bad, and I can almost say that with 100% confidence. To be honest with you, I'll give myself a 2% points. So I'll go 80. I'm 98% certain that this show is going to be absolute garbage. And this little leak thing that you're talking about is also going to be absolute garbage. They go on for 9 more minutes. I wonder if there's any more. Let's just...
you know what I mean? And fun a little bit. I mean, how is Anakin even able to speak to Ahsoka in the world between worlds?
Not as pathetic as Snoke.
Yeah, well, I think it would have to connect to Abeloth, right? Because essentially Abeloth... So the sun is...
These guys, he's been so obsessed with Abeloth.
The dark side is like the ebb and flow of light and dark. The inevitable balance can finally unmake what is, which is a darkness even beyond, I think, what we've... Right, so in a sense, she has like the god of, and that's why the Mori follows her around, right? So she has.
He's still talking about Ahsoka and fucking what light side bird thing following it. What? This is your leaks. You made a video out of this. Ugh, 17,000 views. Ugh, gross. Fucking gross. All right. How's the poll doing? All right, let's end the poll. Hold on for me 1 second. Let me share my screen. All right. So if you weren't here and you want to get a quick vote in, we got 17 votes in the poll, which is nice. If you want to get a quick vote in, we had Jacob talking about the Amy Adams character announcement in the Star Wars Starfighter movie, saying, can you imagine how the internet would react if someone in the movie asked her name and she said back Mara? And then you had Star Wars Academy, which is number 2. Star Wars Academy saying Ahsoka is one of the best Star Wars stories we received. And in my opinion, it was beautiful from beginning to the end of the first season. I loved every surprise this series gave us and every story development surely leading towards an exciting second season. Get your votes in. 9 and 2. Looks like J.I. Jacob has it. We're going to end the poll there. We got an extra vote in there. Thank you. Ending the poll. The thing is the delay. I should have waited a little bit longer. Sorry if you didn't get a vote in. My apologies. In last place was obviously Star Wars Academy with 39% of the votes. And of course, the winner of this week's Seal of the Week with 61% of the votes was J.I. Jacob. Congratulations, Jacob. You are this week's Seal of the Week. And we are done. We are done. I got cat hair all over me. We are done. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate all of you. It was a good stream. Went for nearly 4 hours. We ended with 40 people watching. Thank you, guys. Obviously, all the other streams out there ended. Like I said, in a couple of weeks when daylight savings ticks over again, we will reassess the starting time and everything. But thank you again, guys. I appreciate it. May as well call it Jacob Seal of the Week award. Yeah, he doesn't always win though. He does get a lot of nominations and he does get a lot of wins. Fucking 2:40 a.m. SWA. It is 5:40 p.m. on Thursday afternoon for me. Thank you, guys. Yes, you can watch CAF Chat tomorrow on OG Star Wars. That's always awesome. Thank you, everyone. Again, let's play our outro. Is there anything that I need to talk about? No, I'm obviously doing more videos, which has been fun to do. I need to work on my thumbnails a little bit. I find that they're too dark and the writing isn't great. And you can't really see it properly, especially on a phone or when the thumbnail's small. So I got to work on that a little bit. Blabs told me off. Well, she didn't tell me off. She told me that I should look into it. Raid? No, I got no one. I don't even think I've got raiding set up on in my studio. And there's no one live to raid anyway. No. But yeah. Catch you on Flashcast on Sunday or Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll catch you next week for another Casual Rage. And keep your eyes and ears open for videos that are coming. I can show you how to raid. Short video. Yeah, cool. I got to look into all of that stuff. But again, thank you, guys. Thank you, B-Man. We'll see you next week for another Casual Rage. Later, guys.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like ain't like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking it very cautious.
You... Go away!
Bounce too near a supermarket?